Alright, I guess we should just jump into this. God, I hope I hit the right button. There we go. Oh, wait. Okay, now that should be working fine. Let me hit that. Yeah, you know, it's new thing, new Pokemon. So, according to, what's his name? Purple Cliff, who, you know what, he says he reads nothing about these, so I don't know how much I can trust him. But Secluded Springs, our new pack, is supposedly like the last normal pack, and that after this pack, the game's like gonna change. They're gonna be doing like an overhaul. We know we're getting Mega Evolutions at some point, so potentially all or any of that could be happening, or it might not, because again, last I remember, Purple Cliff didn't exactly pay attention to these things. We're gonna probably open 20 packs. You know, I've got a bunch of hourglasses, so we might as well just open a bunch. Okay, I saw sparkles on the last one, so, you know, maybe some last pack magic. Malamar, Drowgy, Hoppip. Going into this pack, I think I only have like 10. Or I have like 18 of the cards. 18 of, I think, 71. So there are definitely some things we need. And so far, we're starting strong. Another Malamar. Hey, look, it's a Yukimori! Everybody loves Yukimori. It is. The models are cool. I totally get why everybody loves it. Hey, Poliwrath, the one card Purple Cliff couldn't get. Ho, ho, ho. I reference Purple Cliff because he's my only connection to the TCG. I don't play the TCG. I just collect cards in this game. But Purple Cliff's entertaining. What can I say? I wish he'd put out more stuff on his main channel every once in a while, because he's got like 10 projects in the work, and it's been a while since we got any of them actually come out. But hey, when he does put out stuff, it's really cool. You know, I'm excited for last one out of Sinnoh. Or, I think it's out of Sinnoh next. Whenever that happens in like 3 months. Stunfisk. Man, I agree with most people. I don't like Stunfisk. But I think Galarian Stunfisk is a fantastic design. Making it into a bear trap is such a good idea. That was then completely wasted when they gave it awful stats and a horrible move pool. Galarian Stunfisk desperately needed a Mega Evolution. And just an evolution. Galarian Stunfisk needed something, kind of like what they gave to Quillfish. Quillfish they did right with Hisuian Quillfish. And we got the Celebi, that's good. Yeah, Quillfish got it right, Stunfisk didn't. Which sucks, because it's a great design, in my opinion. Skrelp, Talonflame, a Bolthound, Farfetch'd. Look at that Doug trio. Look how cute it is. Relicanth. Zoroark. Slugma. Slugma not. Yeah. Alright, pack 10. We know there's something here. Look, even the background's changing. Milotic. Ah, beautiful. I really like Milotic. Milotic. I always called it Milotic. It might be Melodic. Melodic might make more sense. A Pokemon I've always really liked. And yet, because of how you get a Phoebus, and because of its weird evolution method, I have never used one. And a shiny Paldean Wooper. Fun fact, this is what we're hunting today. When we get into the actual video game, we're going after Paldean Wooper. That's one of the 3 shinies in the event right now. So yeah, we'll be doing that today, which is cool. Alright, I would say that's a lot of good packs there. I think we got some good stuff. $3,000. Okay, we're gonna break 4,000 today. Okay, so we're about halfway. And yeah, let's just do another 10 because we can. I mean, I've got the hourglasses. I've got a lot of hourglasses. I save up, and it's like because as far as I know, they don't expire. I didn't see any sparkles. I might have missed something. But yeah, as far as I know, the hourglasses don't expire. So, you know, I might as well just hold on to them. Okay, I think there's something in the back here. Yeah, Entei, there we go. Cool beans, cool beans. Electros, Fanfi, Durant, Phoebus. Oh my god, we got the Clodsire. Look at it. We're gonna try to get one of these today. Swablu, Poliwhirl. There's something in the back of this one as well. Another Poliwrath, okay. This Pokemon has any water energy attached to the stack, does 40 more. That might not be bad. Right, if you can build it up with a fighting, a water, and then either 2 water or another fighting. Yeah, no, that might not be bad. 140? I don't know. I could not tell you competitive. I have no idea what's good and what isn't. Okay, we got something here. This Milk Tank might be good. I mean, until this Pokemon leaves the active spot, its attack does 30 more, and it stacks. That might be crazy, along with the Whitney card. It's Fanfi. Oh, look at you, little Fanfi. Another Pokemon I've never used. It kind of falls into, like, that's a lot of Gen 2 Pokemon. Where it's like, oh yeah, I like this Pokemon, but I've never really used it. You know, Fanfi, Heracross, Scizor up until, like, my Nuzlocke of Sword and Shield. Because I had a Scizor there. Starting off with an Entei. Is this a God Pack? Nope. Starting off strong. I would like one of the other two, Raikou or Suicune. Is it Suicune or Suicune? I have always pronounced it Suicune. But kind of like, you know how Arceus got changed to Arceus because Arceus has Arce in it? Did Suicune get changed because it has Coon in it? Because it might have... That would not surprise me. Oh, shit! Oh, my gosh. Speak of it. We got the fucking immersive! Really? That's it? Oh, wow. Look at them all. I think that started off kind of weak. But once it goes underwater, yeah, no, that gets a lot better. That's a fantastic pull. And that's last pack magic for you. Because that was pack number 10. Holy shit. Look at all that. Yeah, I do need to get the normal Suicune and I need to get a Raikou. Raikou? I think I normally pronounce it Raikou. And there's we broke 4,000. Wow. Nothing compared to Purple Cliff's, 12,000, 15,000? But hey, all that without spending a single penny on this game. Okay, we're definitely more than halfway. It's really just, it's the Raikou, the Suicune, and then, what's the other one? There's another rare one in there that we're gonna need. Probably the normal Milotic. I know Altaria's in there. But there's one more EX that we're gonna have to get as well. There's level 39. I don't know what the max level is. That's the different set. That's a different thing. Okay, we need Tentacruel. We're gonna need... Azrael. Yeah, there are 2 baby Pokemon. Azrael and Igglybuff in this set. And I'm going to have to find both of them. We might go for that Azrael, depending on if I see anything else. People are still working on the Ho and Lugia sets. Eevee Grove. I'm still kind of brokenhearted that I never got the, what's it called? There's still, like, I'm missing a single card from Eevee Grove, and I'm missing a single card from Shining Revelry. Or, no, maybe I finished Eevee. I'm missing a single card from Shining Revelry and from Mystical Island. That's the other one I'm missing. Let's hit that one. Nope. We didn't have that one, so I will take it. But I definitely would have liked any of the other 2 that we didn't have more, because those are a little harder to find. Alright, let's check in on our things. So with, yeah, Secluded Springs, we're at 55 out of 71. So we're less than 20 away, which is nice. But hey, we got the immersive, and that's cool. Wisdom of Sea and Skies, I got 132. So I'm missing just a little under, what, 29? I can never get the 2-packs. Or the 3-packs, but that's a duh. But yeah, I got a good chunk of things. I got both of the immersive arts, if we see down here. We have the Ho-Oh. Which, can I be honest, once we actually got the art, I think these are kind of generic. It's literally just the Pokemon moves down, the sky moves up. I know most of these immersive arts are just like that. They're just JPEGs. But it's still kind of, you know, underwhelming. So yeah, that's our Ho-Oh. And then here's our Lugia. Because, yeah, because for a while, I was on when it came to these rare arts, I didn't get the one in Eevee Grove. I did get the one in Shining Revelry, but I didn't get the one in between that. I don't think I got Solgaleo. Or no, I got the Lily and the Guzma. What set didn't I get? I missed... Oh, Extra Dimensional Crisis. I didn't get Extra... I got every other card in Eevee Grove and Extra Dimensional Crisis. I just didn't get their things. I don't know. They're kind of whatever. Yeah, see, because we have all of Eevee Grove. But I got this, which is cool. But I didn't get the... That's my only gold, but I didn't get anything else. And same thing in Extra Dimensional Crisis. We got 2 of these things. And I never got the rare. And I got that. I don't know. Are the shiny... I know the shinies are rarer, but I don't know if they're, like, rare. And then, yeah, Celestial Guardians. I did get both the Lily and the Guzma right there. Shining Revelry. I'm only missing fucking Pikachu. I know I go through these every time, but I did get the Giratina. It's a cool looking one. Did I get the normal? Yeah, I did. I know for a long time I was missing this one. I was just missing the normal Giratina EX, and then I got 2 like back to back. Triumphant Light, I just had no luck with. Because there's all the cards I'm missing in Triumphant Light are the Arceus cards. And this one, which is just Arceus EX. But I got 2... Oh, no, I only have one of those. I thought I had 2. Yeah, no, I'm missing all the ones with the silver borders. You know, like these ones, the Arceus cards. I'm missing all of them but Rotom, whoever this is, and the Pikachu, and the Raichu. Spacetown Smackdown wasn't great. This one I have Palkia, but I never got Dialga with the immersive. Mystical Island, I got 2 of the Celebes, and I'm just missing Pidgeot. because once you get a certain number of pack points, you can actually buy cards. And I was thinking maybe I just go back and I open some of these. And if I don't get it, because I don't need that many pack points. And then Genetic Apex. I was, yeah, no matter how many, I seem to always be about 30 away when there's more than one set. Whereas when there's only one, I'm only like 1 or 2 away. Alright, so that's this. I guess now let's actually get in and play some Pokemon. Alright, let me hit that. Let me disconnect that. Put the text back. Move that back over. Oh. No, I don't know. I do not want Stream in the Long Way. Stream in the Long Way. Alright, I guess while I'm booting up Pokemon here. So, today, we have a few news stories. We have a few, of the other thing, of, what's it called? We have a few WIBE things. It's not much, like, in more important weeks, some of these stories we would never talk about. But, you know, I've got time. So I thought, you know, I might as well. Okay, booting up Pokemons. But yeah, so we've got a few things. It's, you know, I've got some things to say, but, you know, we should be no longer than, like, 2 hours. So it should all be fine. At least that's my hope. Alright. There we go. We have audio. I don't know. Yes, okay, we do. I'm actually going to turn it down in my headphones and on the stream. Yeah, so we got a few things. So, and then, yeah, like I said earlier, we're hunting Paldean Wooper, who's in the normal region. We've got Mudsdale, which technically we actually got a Mudsdale last week, 2 weeks ago now. We found a shiny Mudsdale just while hunting Mouseholds. But I'm still gonna get 2 anyways because we can. And then the third one is Drillbur, I think? Yeah, that sounds right. So we'll go after and hunt some Drillbur. And, you know, all's well that ends well. You know, my goal is like 2 hours tonight. You know, I last time when we did the ice one, we got so lucky. We got so lucky with the ice raids that it took us, what, like an hour? So it should be another quick one. At least, you know, that's the hope. Because, yeah, we found those Cubchews on, like, the first try, which was crazy. And, yeah, meanwhile, these guys are just right here, right around the corner. Alright, so for gaming news, we've got, what, we've got 3 actual stories. We got 3 stories that are actually like, yes, this is an actual story, let's talk about it. Admittedly, 2 of them are kind of small, 2 of them are small things, 1 of them is a bigger thing, and then we have some speculation. We got 3 things in speculation time. So we're going to talk about, you know, speculate Nintendo Direct and speculate PS6. Because that was going around this week, and we might as well talk about it. And then also, I put in the Silksong price. Because even though Silksong is literally a week away, we don't actually know the price of Silksong. But GameStop potentially leaked it. so we might as well talk about it. And I'll just bump, even though that's also kind of speculation-ish, I'll just bump that in with everything else. You know, we might as well. So yeah, but yeah, we got a Hollow Knight thing. Not specifically pertaining, I mean, again, price, but yeah, we got another thing specifically pertaining to games around Hollow Knight. We got a Nintendo thing about their new movie stuff, and then we got a Pokemon thing, because, you know, Pokemon's doing something. Pokemon's been doing all their stuff, so we got that, and yeah, should be all straightforward. So I guess we should start with our Silksong, non-Silksong news. So, Silksong, you know, it's one of the biggest indie games of all time. You know, every Nintendo Direct, someone's coming down to be, hey, where's Silksong? Is this the showcase where we get Silksong? Every Xbox showcase, every Nintendo Direct, every Summer Games Fest, every Game Awards. Where's Silksong? And finally, it was revealed last week that it's coming out next week. Literally within, I want to say, what? 14 days of the announcement. It's coming out. September 5th. That sounds right. So so they basically announced it and said, yeah, hey, it's coming out in 2 weeks. Again, I think it's actually 15 days. Regardless, doesn't matter. It's 2 weeks away. So people, you know, righteously freaked out that, like, it's not a shadow drop, but it's pretty damn close. But, you know, there are a lot of other indie developers out there. And for people who don't know, when it comes to releasing an indie game, you only get one chance. You only get one chance to put your game up on Steam and make an impression. Earlier this year, an indie developer, who I don't remember which one, went on a massive Twitter rant about how they, you know, they had their release date planned for the game, they had been trying to hype it up, get on the front page of Steam, and like the same day they released their game, I want to say EA dropped a bunch of like Sims DLC. And so that just, all their, like, trending top page stuff got completely pushed down by all this Sims DLC that removed them from, like, the new hot game tab. And it just completely fucked them. Like, and I know some of that's just, bitching, fate of the draw, or whatever. But, like, I get it. You only have one chance to make a good impression. And so, with Silksong being 2 weeks away, everyone's gonna play it. You know, the developers over at Aggro Crab even made a joke in their game peak that was like, hey, have fun playing it the next 2 weeks, you know, until Silksong comes out. Because guess what? They're also going to be playing Silksong. Like, Aggro Crab is, you know, they're, as developers, are huge fans of Silksong. There's a Silksong reference in Another Crab's Treasure. So, of course they're gonna, you know, all be playing it. So, I get it. I totally understand why developers, you know, would panic when, you know, their tightly packed release schedule that, you know, they've planned for weeks and months all of a sudden gets completely thrown off by the biggest indie game potentially ever. You could make the argument this is the biggest indie game ever to come out. So, the whole point of the story is what games have been delayed. Because I will be honest, out of the Silksong thing, right, developers freaking out about, like, hey, is their game going to be able to find their audience? A lot of developers coming out to delay their games has actually probably helped them reach more eyes than they ever would have. Because, especially for me, like, there's one or two of these games that I had never heard of before. But now I'm kind of interested. And if it wasn't for them delaying their game because of Silksong, I probably never would have heard about it. So, maybe in the end this all kind of works out. But it still kind of sucks. So, I've got a list of games here that we're going to go over. The first one is Demon School. And this is, I should say, this is not a comprehensive list. This is not every game that has been delayed. This is just, you know, the 6 that kind of have come across my dash over the past week as I've been writing them down. But yeah, the first one is Demon School. This is I want to say this is a game inspired by Persona. Not Persona like 3, 4, or 5. No, I'm talking like Shin Megami Tensei Persona, like the original on PS1. I want to say that's Demon School. It was interesting because this game was actually shown off in the recent Indie World / Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase, but only in Japan. Even though it's coming out in America, for some reason it was only shown off in Japan, which I don't know why they did that. Maybe they just, you know, thought it wouldn't appeal to Western audiences. Maybe the studio only signed a contract with Nintendo of Japan. I don't know. But it was supposed to come out in these next few weeks, and they're delaying it until November 19th. So that's basically a September, October, November. Yeah, basically a 2-month delay. Not every game's been hit with this hard of delay. Some have been hit with even worse. But yeah, already that's a big change. The next one, another game I hadn't heard of, another game I had heard of was Baby Steps. If you don't know, Baby Steps is published by Devolver Digital, made by Bennett Foddy and the team that did Getting Over It. At least I'm pretty sure Bennett Foddy is involved. But yeah, you know, Getting Over It, the one where you're in the pot and you've got the hammer, and it's super fucking frustrating. Imagine that game, but in 3D. You know, imagine QWOP in 3D. That's Baby Steps, more or less. And they put out a little trailer that shows, like, the baby man trying to climb over Silksong and failing along the way. This game has been delayed to September 23rd. This, like I said, this is one I had actually heard about. I had actually been following. This delay doesn't surprise me at all. It kind of sucks, but I also do totally get it. Like, yeah, no, I totally understand that. I don't know, it's not exactly a game I look forward to playing, because for fuck's sake, it's a Bennett Foddy game. Those things fucking suck. Not that they're bad, they're just hard as dicks. And I don't really want to play that. Like, oh my god, Getting Over It was I've never beat Getting Over It. I don't even think I've ever made it past Orange Hell, but it's not a fun game. It's very interesting. I'll give it that. It's a very interesting game, as are, you know, some of Bennett Foddy's other works. But yeah, but you know, they're doing it in 3D. I know it's coming into to PC and PlayStation. I want to say, yeah, it's PlayStation exclusive at the moment, because I want to say the game was revealed during a PlayStation show. But yeah, so that's been delayed, yeah, like I want to say like 2 weeks. A game I hadn't heard of was Little Witch in the Woods. So this is, you know, you're a little witch in the woods. It's a little cozy game. And I guess it's in early access currently, so like if you want to try this out, you can. But they were pushing full release. I want to say next week on September 5th. And they've just delayed it until September 15th. So they've pushed it out, yeah, like 10-ish days. It might have been coming out earlier than that, admittedly. But I know their new date, September 15th. They're leaving early access. They're in full release. I don't know if it's coming to consoles. But yeah, this is the one that a lot of people have been talking about, because they made an artwork. Like, if you've ever seen that art of, like, the person tripping and spilling their lunch, they did that with their main character, but in, like, the Silksong, right, the hornet silhouettes over them. And it was like, okay, that's really cute artwork. Again, this is an awful position to be in. But good for them. I honestly hope them delaying their game has gotten them a lot of exposure, because it really does feel like it. I hope this all works out for them, because it looks like a cute little cozy game. I definitely think this is, this is something I would have not known anything about if this hadn't have happened. So I guess in a way I'm kind of happy, because hey, now I get to know about this. And if it's good, you know, maybe I'll check it out. If it comes to Switch. Man, I just don't play that much PC. I put more time into Peak the past, like, 2 weeks than I have put into PC gaming in the past, like, 2 years. Well, yeah, no, that's probably true. Because even though I do love me some good mini motorways and mini Metro, I don't... Well, to be fair, I only play mini Metro on mobile. But, you know what I mean. I don't put that much time into PC gaming. I have an okay PC. It does fine enough. Next up, Eterna Lucius? E-A-E-T-E-R-N-A. Eterna? So this is a sequel to Eterna Noctis, which is a game that's already out. You can go play. It's on PC. I know it's on Switch. I'm pretty sure it's a Metroidvania. So, I totally understand the delay, you know, especially one Metroidvania comparing to another. So they've pushed off their game, and they've pushed off until 2026. They're not even gonna attempt to come out this year. Which, I mean, again, I kind of get. If you're, you know, making a Metroidvania, and you've got to compete with the biggest indie game of all time, which is also a Metroidvania, I kind of get it. Admittedly, I think until 2026 is kind of a huge delay. Like, I already think November's a lot. Like, most of the other ones are sticking to September. But, yeah, I get it. Next one up is Clover Pit. This is a Luck Be a Landlord-like. At least, I think it is. It's like a slot machine. You're pulling a slot machine to get certain things. It reminds me, like, graphically of, like, Buckshot Roulette, if you ever played that. It's kind of got a similar-ish art style, that sort of dingy vibe. But hey, I do like some Luck Be a Landlord. If you've ever played, that's a good slot machine game, who I think the developer either made a new game recently, like a Penny Pusher, or their publisher just released a Penny Pusher. I don't know, Luck Be a Landlord has been in the news this past week for something. So, hey, you know, go check that out, I guess, maybe. And then the final one I have is Mega Bonk. I'd never heard of this game. I had no idea what this is. I know it's like a survival roguelite. At least that was what the description said. Watching gameplay, I'm pretty sure it's just 3D Vampire Survivors. Like, I'll be honest, it looked like 3D Vampire Survivors. Just watching some of the gameplay. I love me some Vampire Survivors. Right? It was like, what, number 3 or 4 on my Game of the year I finally played it, when it came to Switch finally. Vampire Survivors is fantastic. I still haven't played the Castlevania DLC. I really need to get around to that. But it's a great game, and yeah, an idea of like a 3D Vampire Survivors sounds fantastic. I don't know, at least that's just what it looks like the art style, the way the attacks look. It reminds me a lot of Vampire Survivors. But that's not a bad thing. And yeah, did I say Clover Pit has been delayed till September 26th? So it's still coming out next month. And then Mega Bonk has been delayed to September 18th. So yeah, so we see, like, you know, a spread of things. You know, you have games like Little Witch in the Woods and Mega Bonk, which are coming out earlier in the month. Yeah, I guess the middle of the month, you know, 15th and 18th. And then you've got Baby Steps in Clover Pit, which are coming out later in the month. So some things have had to be shifted around. But yeah, I hope it all works out for these games. Because yeah, having only heard of 2 of these, I might have heard of Clover Pit. And again, it's in the circles I run in. I definitely hear about games like this, so I probably did hear about it at some point. But definitely not the other 3 for sure. Only Baby Steps and Demon School. Or, yeah, Demon School. Which I was never going to play Demon School, let's be honest with you. Yeah, I hope these games do well. You know, this is, I kind of want, it's like a reverse indie world where, you know, instead of coming together to celebrate these indie games, in the fear of another one, we're coming together to, try to, give some support. At least, maybe that's how I'm thinking about it. I don't know. But yeah, so those are all the games that are being delayed. But, yeah, have nothing to actually do with Silksong itself, other than you're going up against the biggest indie game of all time, potentially. I saw someone use the clip from Batman the Animated Series and made the joke that, like, because in that, after Batman dies in the animated series, the Joker says that, like, doing crime just isn't the same without him. And so someone made the edit of Nintendo Directs just aren't the same without Silksong, which was funny. I don't know. I saw someone say that, like, now that Silksong, every Direct people were asking for Silksong, now we're gonna go back to Smash Bros. And I'll be honest, that sounds fucking miserable. The idea of, hey, where's Smash Bros? Smash Bros is a lot of fun. Smash Bros hype cycles can be very fun once the game is announced. Getting to that point, though, oh no, that fucking sucks. Honestly, I feel like that's how most hype cycles work, though. So the piece of actual Silksong news-ish that we got is the price. So, the game's a week out. They haven't been doing pre-orders. They're not sending out critic reviews. I don't know if we talked about this last week. But because the original Hollow Knight was a Kickstarter game. And when the developers originally made the game, they sent it out to Kickstarters early. They got first access to it. And part of the Kickstarter campaign was Silksong. Because originally, kind of like Tears of the Kingdom, Silksong was originally going to be DLC for Hollow Knight, and then it kind of bloomed beyond its original purpose. Also, I guess like the Shovel Knight campaigns, kind of. So basically, the Silksong developers want to give first access to the people who kickstarted the original Hollow Knight. Totally get it. That's why they're not sending out review copies. Totally agree. Honestly, Silksong has so much hype that it doesn't need reviews. You already probably know whether or not you're going to buy Silksong. Or, you go pick up Hollow Knight right now for like $8. Because, God, that game is crazy. We'll talk about it in a minute, I guess. But, so you already know if you're probably going to buy it or not. It's huge. And, yeah, I totally understand. Because, in a way, I know we don't like talking about this. But, in a way, a game review is a branch of a game's marketing campaign. I know that's a cynical way of looking at it, kind of. I know some people will say that, all reviewers are paid off. Total fucking bullshit. Reviewers are not paid off. That's fucking Gamergate shit right there. Completely untrue. Like everything else in Gamergate. But no, Silksong doesn't need that. They've grown beyond that, which is kind of fucking crazy. It's like a new Taylor Swift album. Taylor Swift doesn't need reviews to market her album. It's gonna be huge regardless. She's grown beyond that. But okay, let's get to the actual thing. So what is the price? According to a leak at GameStop, a listing at GameStop, Silksong is only going to cost $20. Now, I want to say that's specifically for the Nintendo Switch version. We don't know if there's a Nintendo Switch 2 version. We don't know about any of the other systems or PC. They just have a $20 price for the base game on Switch. And if I'm going to be honest, that's wild. That is a wild price point. I expected it to at least be double the original's game. Silksong is one of the few indie games. It is so big. It is so hyped. They honestly could have charged $60, full-on AAA pricing, and anybody who mattered wouldn't have complained. It would have been like, yep, all the work they've put in this game, $60 makes perfect sense. $20 is fucking ridiculous. I would have happily paid $30. I kind of feel like I'm ripping them off. Because here's the thing about the original Hollow Knight. The original Hollow Knight was $15. And Joseph Anderson once said in his critique/review of the game that Silksong is the biggest amount of game for the least amount of money that you can possibly get. There's like 60 hours of content in that game. Really like good, like high quality AAA content. I'm not talking about like grinding RPG bullshit. No, I'm talking about like high quality 60 hours for $15. And the game regularly goes on sale. I've seen it as cheap as like $5 or $6 before. It is the most game for the lowest amount of price. So the idea that the sequel to that game, to a game that already kind of feels like I'm ripping off the developers with how cheap it can be, is only $5 more is fucking crazy. That is wild, because I would have happily paid $30. I would have paid $60 and probably not complained, because I get it. I get it. I mean, I'm glad they aren't, and they probably, I say they would have gotten away with $60. I'm sure more people than I think would have complained. Even though, again, I totally think they could have. I mean, No Man's Skies was $60. And while nowadays that price is totally justifiable, back when it launched, that was fucking ridiculous. But yeah, the $20 price point is crazy. We have no double confirmation on that. That was just a GameStop leak. That could be, for all we know, a temporary price. But if that is a temporary price, that's a crazy temporary price. Like, if it becomes true, that's wild. That is wild. And yeah, there's no way I couldn't recommend it. Again, play Hollow Knight first, but Hollow Knight's already so much bang for your buck. And the idea that Silksong's only $5 more, wow. That is genuinely wild. But I could totally see it. Because that's the thing, I could totally, like, even fucking Shovel Knight, you know, once they started doing all their DLCs, they realized, like, oh, we're going to have to start charging more money for this. And they eventually released the Treasure Trove, which I want to say, like, doubled the price of the game. I want to say Hollow Knight, third time's the charm. I want to say Shovel Knight was originally, like, $15-20. And I want to say the Treasure Trove is, like, $35-40. And, like, I get it. They had to do that. It'd be weird of them not to do that, especially with how much they put into that game, which even at $40 is a great deal. It's basically 4 games in one, and they're all really good, and I kind of want to replay Shovel Knight. I don't know, I've been playing a lot of Hollow Knight and whatnot. I replayed Celeste earlier this year. The next logical step is Shovel Knight, and going through all 4 of those campaigns. But I'm also kind of waiting for Shovel Knight EX, which got announced over a year ago now, and I was really hoping it was going to be out on Switch 2, like, early on, because it kind of felt like, you know, the winds of change were kind of going in that direction. Even if Yacht Club wasn't saying anything, you know, they've got a history, especially with the Switch, but it never materialized, and we'll just have to wait and see. But hey, we're getting Mina the Hollower, so I guess we're not too far off. Alright, so speaking of Nintendo's gotten into movies, right? We have the Mario movie, which is huge. People love the Mario's movie. It's not perfect, I do agree. I think I've seen some critics say, like, oh, this is the worst, most vapid, generic movie ever. I definitely wouldn't go that far. Like, I know Patrick H. Willems, like, completely lambasted the thing on how it's like the worst example of an adaptation on one end of the spectrum. I definitely would not go that far. Not by a fucking long shot. But so Nintendo's gotten a lot into movies. And so Nintendo actually has a company called Warp Star. At least they did. It was called Warp Star. They consolidated Warp Star earlier this year, on April 1st of this year. Originally, the studio Warp Star was founded in 2001. It was a collaboration between Nintendo and HAL Laboratories, the Kirby developers, specifically to make Kirby stuff. HAL Laboratories wanted to make some Kirby stuff that wasn't video games, so they started Warp Star Inc. to make that. Warp Star from Kirby. It makes sense when you think about it. Warp Star, the one notable thing they've done in the past is the Kirby anime. They, in some way, shape, or form worked on the Kirby anime, Kirby Right Back at Ya, which I did watch as a kid. Even though, I'll be honest, there was a period in my life where I forgot Kirby existed. From 2004 or 5 till Triple Deluxe's release, I completely forgot Kirby existed. Because I liked Kirby's Right Back at Ya. I liked the Squeak Squad whenever that came out. When did Squeak Squad come out? I'm actually going to Google it. For some reason, my Google button's not working. Okay. Squeak Squad. Squeak Squad came out... Wow, this game did not get good reviews. I mean, I get it. Did it come out in 2007? Wow, that's later than I thought. Oh. Either way, I played Kirby Squeak Squad when it released. I did like the game. I'll be honest. The game did not get good reviews, and it is probably one of the simplest... I guess let's say easiest. Is it easier than Kirby's Epic Yarn? Kind of, I guess. It's a very simple game, but it will always have a soft spot in my heart. But after that, until Triple Deluxe in 2013, I completely forgot Kirby existed. But okay, so Warp Star has been consolidated, and they have now been restructured into Nintendo Stars. So instead of, just doing Kirby stuff, they'll be branching out, they'll provide support with merchandising, licensing, live events, general projects, development, and other means. That's a quote pulled from Nintendo Everything. And yeah, it makes sense. Nintendo's getting more into movies. We've got the Mario Brothers 2 movie coming out next year. The Zelda movies come out, in 2 years? And then there's a rumor of a Donkey Kong movie as well. Which also sounds... After playing Bonanza, yeah, a Donkey Kong movie sounds fantastic. I'm all for it. So it makes sense that, yeah, Nintendo wants to kind of make a new division that just focuses on movies and other, IP related to merchandising and licensing. So that way, instead of it getting mixed up with all the video game stuff, they can just have it for movies and the like. I totally get that. I'm kind of surprised they don't have their own theme park division as well, because they've been leaning heavily into that to mostly success. I don't know. I've heard that the American versions of the theme parks don't exactly have good food. I've heard the Japan food is great, but the American food kind of sucks. So what you gonna do? Now, I do want to say this Nintendo Stars should not be confused with Nintendo Pictures. Nintendo Pictures was another studio. I don't remember what they were originally called, but Nintendo purchased... They were they're, a video studio that Nintendo purchased back in 2022. Completely unrelated to Warp Star. You might know Nintendo Pictures because they were in the news earlier this year, because they actually worked on Death Stranding. Death Stranding 2. I want to say Nintendo Pictures does some motion capture stuff, and they actually worked on Death Stranding 2, probably because Death Stranding 2's been in development since 2022, so they were probably working on that before Nintendo bought them, but either way, that's really interesting. That was a story, again, that was a story I think we covered earlier in the year, or, you know, this isn't a story I would talk much about, but, you know, it's post-Gamescom. It's a little bit of a slower week, kind of. I mean, it definitely is. So yeah, nothing to do with that. This is like a whole brand new thing, but it makes sense. Alright, let's talk about Pokemon. So, we got, last week, 2 weeks ago, we talked about Mega Victory Bell. And at the time, people have not been jiving with Pokemon's ZA's Megas. You know, people don't really like Mega Dragonite. I think Mega Dragonite's mostly decent. I wish it was blue, but other than that, I think it works. And then we got Mega Victory Bell, which, while the reveal trailer was cool, I really think when it comes to these reveal trailers the Pokemon Company's been doing, they have been knocking it out of the park. The Victory Bell that was kind of like Resident Evil inspired was fantastic. And the one we got this week for Hawlucha, the animated one, was also great. So I think they've been knocking it out of the park on that front. But yeah, people didn't like Dragonite. Victory Bell I actually like. It's very derpy, you know, big Randy Marsh ball sack looking motherfucker that I kind of like. And it's goofy. It is definitely goofy, but it's got its charms and such. This new one, though, we got Mega Hawlucha. And this was revealed in a trailer. This, again, all the Megas have leaked at this point. And this one did leak. You know, we knew it existed. We didn't know what it looked like. We just knew it existed. And so we got the thing earlier in the week where it's like, hey, see the wrestling match between Hawlucha and Machamp. And it's like, okay, we're getting Mega Hawlucha, which was, yeah, part of the leagues. The whole match, it starts off, you know, Hawlucha's getting his ass kicked, it's not going well, but eventually they believe in their trainer, and she uses her Mega Stone to Mega Evolve Hawlucha. And so, what is Mega Hawlucha? It's bigger? Like, it's slightly bigger, it's got a wider chest, but the big distinguishing feature is it's got a golden mask. In the trailer, it's like a bright, glittery gold. It's got these, like, feathers coming out of the head. It's Hawlucha, but, you know, a little extra. They put on some more of that Rey Mysterio charm. And I'll be honest, I love it. I think it's a fantastic Mega Evolution. I am genuinely considering using it. Because the other thing I learned this week, which I didn't know... So, have you heard of this whole thing of like, hey, what Pokemon is your birthday? Because now that we're over 1,000 Pokemon, basically anywheres from, you know, January 1st up until like October 22nd, there is a Pokemon that probably corresponds to your birthday. Unless you were born in, again, November or December. But, you know, for everybody else, you have a birthday Pokemon. And so I saw somebody on Twitter talk about it. And when they did, I was like, oh, what's my birthday Pokemon? It's fucking Hawlucha. Hawlucha is my birthday Pokemon. Which, don't get me wrong, that's not 100% reason to use it. If that was just something I found out this week, I would have been like, okay, whatever, moving on. But the fact that it also kind of got a Mega Evolution, like, you see how the stars are aligning there? Admittedly, I'm not the kind of person who plans out my Pokemon teams. I am very much a go-with-the-flow kind of person. The only thing I really pick is my starter. Other than that, I just let the winds take me where they take me, especially in a new generation, like in Gen 9 or Gen 8. You know, I want to see and use the new Pokemon. With Legends Arceus, I was a little bit more open. With ZA, I'll probably be a little bit more open. But I am genuinely, like, considering, like, oh, should I use Mega Hawlucha? That'd be kind of cool. So I will say, the one thing I do not like about it is that in the reveal trailer where he's fighting the Machamp, the mask that he wears, like it's his black gold mask, it looks beautiful, it's all glittery. In the games, it's not glittery. In the games, it's just kind of a generic gold texture. And I don't even think it's like the Magikarp gold they use in Scarlet and Violet. It's just kind of like a shade of yellow. That kind of sucks. I wish they had kept the glittery effect in the game, because we know they can do that. We 100% know that they could do like a shiny glittery effect in the game. It couldn't be that fucking hard. But I think it looks so good in the trailer, and it just it whelms me in the game. I'm not over or underwhelmed. I'm just kind of whelmed by it. But other than that, I think the design is fantastic. It does also kind of have like, it has like, you know, Hawlucha, it's got like a feather belt that there's a part of me that wish they had made it like a wrestling belt. Kind of like Machamp, kind of like Incineroar. I wish they had kind of given it a wrestling belt. And they have bits of that, but instead it's just got one big feather. And the big feather kind of looks like a dick. And it does. I like cast form, so I'm not really a person to judge. But yeah, I can't unsee it. But other than that, I think Mega Hawlucha looks great. I'm very excited for it. I'm not really a wrestling guy. Everybody around me tells me there are two things I would love: Survivor and wrestling. That if I just gave them a chance, I would love them. But I can never bring myself to it. To be fair, I've tried with Survivor. I sat down and I watched one episode of probably 6 seasons ago. I watched like an episode just because it was on, and it was, you know, the season premiere and everything. I couldn't tell you which season it was. It was the one where the trans guy, he's on the island, and because of a medical condition, he gets kicked off in the first episode. And that sucks. That was I couldn't tell you who that was. I couldn't tell you what season that was. It was only like a few years ago. But that's the only episode of Survivor I've ever seen. Even though, again, I didn't mind it. I totally understand why I would like it if I were to give it a chance. But yeah, wrestling is the same way. But to celebrate, you know, Pokemon Legends EA and to celebrate Mega Hawlucha, Pokemon's actually doing a wrestling expedition. Exhibition. There we go. Not expedition, exhibition. So in Mexico City, they're doing a Lucha Libre showdown where they're going to have 4 exhibition matches. It will, you know, if you're in Mexico City, you'll be able to go watch it live, but they will also be streaming it on YouTube. But I think that's something they're doing closer to the release of the game, but still really cool that they're doing it, you know? Yeah, rock on, Pokemon Company. So that's cool. Mega Hawlucha is great. Love it. I've seen a lot of people making edits to Mucha Lucha, the TV show, which, you know, as a young Hispanic kid, Latino, whatever term you want to use, you know, you always think like, oh, well, you know, for like the white kids, there are tons of characters that look and talk like them. But, you know, for a young Hispanic kid, we didn't really have that much. But we had fucking Lucha Libre, and we had El Tigre. And those shows meant the world to me when I was younger. Oh my gosh. I loved both of them. Do either of them hold up? Probably not. I would guess El Tigre holds up a little better. But, yeah, I don't know if either of them hold up. But as a kid, that meant the fucking world to me. I felt seen. Oh my gosh. Loved it. Loved it. Alright, let's continue onwards. We're what, like 4? I'm honestly surprised we haven't found anything. We're like 40 minutes in, and we've gotten nothing. We only need 2 of these things. Sometimes the shading makes them look darker than they are with these whoopers, and I worry that like the shading is gonna mess me up, because the shading in this game is so weird. Like, what's light and what's dark, I don't understand how it all gets calculated. But yeah, we've had no luck so far. All right, let's talk speculation. Let's board the train to speculation station. So the first one is Nintendo Direct. It is September in like 2 days, and every September for as long as I can remember, there's rumors that there's going to be a Nintendo Direct in September. So yeah, any predictions? But no, I do 100% think this is happening. Currently, you know, people are coming out, putting out these rumors that like, hey, a Nintendo Direct's going to be happening next month. And like, no shit. Because, you know, it used to be a common thing that you could suspect at least September 5th. Yeah, you gotta get that done so that way you're ready for Silksong. But yeah, no, it used to be a thing where every year you could expect a January or February Direct, a June Direct, and then a September Direct. That was probably the case from like 2014 until like 2020. Those 3 Directs happened every month. You forget guess on. I don't know. Maybe one day. I don't know. I'm still so small. That's the thing. I'm just a little itty bitty glass orb, you know. I'm just a little baby. Okay, never mind. I'm never saying that again. I say that like I haven't been doing this for almost 15 fucking years. Is it my 15th anniversary this year? I've run out of things to talk about in 10 minutes. Yeah, so, sometimes it does be like that, though. Have I been doing this for 15 years? Potentially. It's either my 15th anniversary this year or next year. I don't remember. But yeah, so, you know, Nintendo used to be consistent with their Directs. And then COVID hit. And, you know, the January/February Direct was still kind of around. But when E3 died, the June Direct died as well. I think the June Direct has happened, what, twice in the past 5 years? So that the June Direct's no longer a consistent thing. But even still... Yes, I'm too far... Oh yeah, I'm definitely too far deep. But hey, it's the grand finale tonight of the League. And oh boy, am I excited. But yeah, there used to always... You know, the September Direct, as far as I'm aware, has been consistent. I don't think Nintendo has skipped a September Direct. Even during COVID, they were still doing a September Direct. It's just the season. The season's ending tonight. 2025 League. Yeah. And then like, Marbula 1's already started. So, you know, racers are already getting on the tracks, getting all oiled up and ready to go. Oh yeah, they're off to the races. Oh, I definitely did not do that. Twitch might have forced it on me. Ugh. Yeah. Yeah, Marbula 1. So what are my expectations for a September Nintendo Direct? So the big thing is that September 13th is Super Mario's 40th anniversary. The original Mario game released on September 13th, 1985? Yeah, September 13th, 1985, the original Mario Bros. Released, and it is Mario's 40th anniversary. Now, usually, when it comes to anniversaries, Nintendo does stuff on Mario Day. You know, usually they make a big deal that, like, hey, it's Mario Day. Here's all the anniversary stuff. At least that's what they did for, like, the 35th and whatnot. This year, they didn't do anything, which is kind of surprising. So the big thought is that, hey, maybe we'll get the Nintendo Direct on the 12th or the 13th, and it'll be focused on Mario's 40th anniversary. And yeah, we'll get something big like that. And to be fair, I think that would be cool. I think if we do get a Mario Direct, that would be cool. I'd love, I don't know if a new 3D Mario game is coming. Because to be fair, that new Donkey Kong feels a lot like Odyssey. And we know it's the Odyssey team. It's not a spin-off or anything. So we might get a new Mario, a new 3D Mario. We could get a new... Has it been long enough for us to get a new 2D Mario? I could see them announcing Wonder 2, and then, it coming later on down the line. Because Wonder didn't get any DLC. Which, I only say kind of surprised me, because, to be fair, Deluxe got DLC. Well, the original, New Super Mario Bros. U got DLC. So, yeah, that's the only reason why I say it kind of surprises me. Because I would have told her... Again... People will buy DLC for Mario games, but it kind of feels like Nintendo wants less and less to do Mario DLC. They just don't really have an interest in it. At least for the mainline games, Mario Wonder, Super Mario Odyssey, this new Donkey Kong. I don't expect to get DLC. Nintendo just doesn't want to do mainline DLC, even though people, would happily pay for it. They still keep updating that stupid Mario Run, though, for some fucking reason. But yeah, a 40th anniversary Mario Direct. There was, someone made a fake collection of New Super Mario Bros. DS, New Super Mario Bros. Wii, and New Super Mario Bros. 2. Basically collecting all of those games in like a 3-game collection. I would love that, because I want to play New Super Mario Bros. Wii again. Because I have not played that game since it released in like 2010. It has probably been 15 years. And while I know that game is kind of generic and kind of unoriginal, I would love to play it again. DS I actually replayed earlier this year, and it's pretty Mario Party, or New Super Mario Bros. DS is kind of an innovative Mario game. Like, I know we consider the New Super Mario Bros. Games generic, but actually New Super Mario Bros. DS starts off very strong. It experimented with a lot of different ideas. It has a bunch of good bosses. Like, I know most people's biggest problem with Mario Wonder is the bosses. And no, New Super Mario Bros. DS, yeah, I think it has like Reznor, and I think that was where Dry Bowser got introduced. But you also fight like Petey Piranha and the Snailicorn armies and all these other weird things. It had some interesting ideas. There's some cool level designs. Like, there's like, you go into like the pipe sewers, and there's like a whole pipe sewer maze thing that was kind of cool. I don't know. I think the game gets a bad rap, but it's actually pretty decent. And then 2 is kind of generic. I like the idea of 2's gimmick. 2's gimmick is you try to collect 1 million coins. The problem is they didn't do anything with it. Like, yeah, coins still gift you extra lives, but there should have been like a coin shop or something. Maybe you have like a thing, you can buy like items to decorate or something. Just give me something to spend the coins on. That would have been cool. But no, but I'd love if they re-release any of those games, that would be cool. Anything else from a Mario Direct? The Mario movie, I think releases in May of next year. And yeah, it's around now we would get our first like teaser trailer, find out who's, some of the new characters. Is Aquafina gonna be voicing Daisy? Shit like that. God, could you imagine? I think that is totally possible, by the way. As someone who has very neutral feelings on Aquafina, I think it is 100% possible she will be voicing Daisy. Of course, I've got other people I would pick. Same thing with Amy in the Sonic movies. It is 100% possible it could be Aquafina. Personally, I'm rooting for Kimiko Glenn. I think they would do a fantastic job as Amy in the Sonic movies. Honestly, and I think they could probably also knock it out of the park as Daisy. But we'll just kind of have to wait and see. You know, who's going to be voicing the Yoshi. But, so, okay, so that's, if we get a Mario Direct. What about just a general Nintendo Direct? The number one thing we need from a general Nintendo Direct, Metroid Prime. Daisy will be played by Jack Black. Gosh. I actually love Jack Black in the Mario movie. I think, you know, I think he gives an outstanding performance. He actually gives a shit. My cast prediction for the Zelda movie. Let me guess. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson as Ganondorf. Tom Holland as Link. And who's the Zelda one? Who's the generic? Zendaya as Zelda. Link will be played by Jack Black, and Zelda will be played as Zelda. Yeah. I would actually love to see Zelda Williams in the Legend of Zelda movie. Get them to play like one of the great fairies or something. That'd be really cool. My nose has been stuffed up all day. Oh my gosh. It's killing me. Don't think I'm sick. I don't feel sick. But my nose has been all clogged. I mean, Link will be played. Zelda will be played as Jason Momoa. Okay, speaking of okay, real quick, side tangent. They're making a the rumor is they're making a Donkey Kong movie. Okay? And so, you know, we're getting Donkey Kong. We already know Donkey Kong Seth Rogen. I don't know who was Diddy Kong in the Mario movie, because he was in it. I don't know who was Diddy or Dixie. They might totally be recast. Even though I think it's Fred Armisen as Cranky Kong. I don't expect that to change. But the rumor is that Jason Momoa is going to be playing King K. Rool. I totally don't believe it. It might just be like a fan cast thing. But I could 100% see Jason Momoa as King K. Rool. I don't think it's the perfect choice, but I can see it. If Jason Momoa gives to King K. Rool what Jack Black gave to Bowser, because I know he's capable of it, I think that would be fantastic. But, you know, we'll just kind of have to wait and see. As long as The Rock's not in it. I don't want The Rock to play Funky Kong. Please, gosh, no. Okay. What was I saying? Metroid. I think we need a Metroid release date. Whether it's this year or it's being delayed. Because right now, the only open release date for Metroid is December. December 5th or December 11th. Your Rock is... God, and then... no, I hate it. Yeah, so right now the only open release dates for Metroid, because it's not coming out in September. As far as we know, there's nothing coming out in September from Nintendo. The only open things are December 5th or December 11th. Unless they want to butt it up against Kirby. Because, you know, Kirby's on the 20th. They could do, The Rock is funky would be funky. I don't know. I'm kind of over The Rock. You know, I'm kind of over Chris Pratt as well. There's talks of him being like Batman or something, you know, someone in the DC universe, and I'm kind of over it. But yeah, I think either Metroid is coming out on the 5th or the 11th, or it is delayed. If it's delayed, I get it. You know, I do get it. But I hope it's not. I hope it comes out this year. It kind of, if it does come out on the 11th, that kind of sucks. You know, the release date isn't everything. You can release great games in December. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate was released in December. But if they were to release Metroid in December, that kind of means they have less faith in it, or at least they have more faith in Kirby Air Riders than they do Metroid Prime 4, which, to be fair, Smash Bros. Is a lot bigger nowadays than it used to be. And so just saying, hey, this is a Sakurai game on Kirby Air Riders will sell a lot more copies. Meanwhile, Metroid has never sold well. Just to put this, somebody pointed this out. Hollow Knight, the original Hollow Knight, has sold more copies than every Metroid game combined in the last 38 years. Metroid doesn't sell that well. Love the games, you know. Super Metroid and Metroid Prime are considered two of the greatest games of all time. And without Super Metroid, we wouldn't have Hollow Knight. But my gosh, do the games not sell. And so Nintendo, you know, pushing that December release date or delaying it until next year, I kind of get it. Do I hope Prime 4 sells really well and reviews really well? Yes, of course I do. But, like, fuck. I get it, okay? I do totally get it. So that's the big thing we need. Other things I would like to see at the Nintendo Direct. Splatoon Raiders. Now, we do not know if Splatoon Raiders is going to be a physical game or a digital-only game. I think either one is completely possible. But if it's right now, Nintendo has nothing releasing in September, which is kind of weird, you know? Especially in the first year of your new console's launch, you should try to get a game out every month or so. Or at least Nintendo normally tries to get something out every month or so. So it's kind of weird that we don't have anything coming out this month. They could also just do some DLC, that would be okay. But I think it is, if Splatoon Raiders is a digital-only game, especially at like a $30 or $40 price point, I think it could be a shadow drop. I honestly think they could shadow drop Splatoon Raiders and get away with it this month. Will they? I don't know. Allegedly, it's already been rated by the ESRB, as has Metroid Prime 4, which makes me think it's coming out this year. Because if it's not coming out this year, I don't have a release date for Metroid, by the way. I have no fucking idea. Who knows at that point. But yeah, I could see Splatoon Raiders shadow dropping. I could also see them, you know, having a shadow drop of like one of these new upgrade packs. Because there's still a lot of games that need upgrade packs. I definitely think Smash Bros. Even if it's just like, you know, hey, guess what? We're giving Smash Bros. Better netcode. You know, we're giving it rollback. Oh my gosh, yes, people would happily pay $10 for Smash Bros. With rollback netcode. I would happily pay that. I don't know, we'll see. Other things, you know, we're getting a Rhythm Heaven game next year, and I could totally see that being like a January or February release. It's totally a smaller thing. It could be early in the year. Same thing with Tomodachi Life. Love Tomodachi Life. Totally want to live the dream. But I could also realistically see it being, you know, I could see it being a smaller January or February release. But, of course, I think Tomodachi Life and Rhythm Heaven are definitely coming out before May. They could be any time from January to May, but they're definitely this year. Or definitely early next year. I don't know. I hate that they revealed that game so early, because I want to play it so bad, and just nothing. You know what could get a shadow drop upgrade pass? Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing, I know it got like a minor update that, you know, fixed like some of the onlines that allowed like Switch and Switch 2 to online connect. I would love an upgrade pass. Give me some DLC for Animal Crossing. I would happily pay another $30 for like Animal Crossing DLC that adds like a whole new island and a whole new bunch of stuff. That'd be really cool. I know people have problems with New Horizons. All of those problems are completely valid. I still love the game, and I'd still probably give my money. Especially because if I do play it on Switch 2, I'm restarting my island. I'm not bringing back... The old one is basically done as far as I'm concerned. We did everything I wanted to do. If we're doing something new, it's going to be completely new. Yes, that's how I'm thinking about it. So yeah, I'm sure there's other stuff that, needs to be announced, that needs to be talked about. Those are all the things I can think of. Give us, if we get a Nintendo Direct, give us a big tease of something big. Like, give us like, hey, guess what? No Animal Crossing upgrade pass, but the new Animal Crossing, Animal Crossing Living in the City is coming out in 2026. It probably won't be like, it's probably like a November game. But still, give us like a big tease of that. That'd be cool. So yeah, I guess our other speculation station thing is the PS6. We're so fucking far off the PS6. I don't even know why we're talking about this, but there's this YouTuber called Moore's Law is Dead. MLID. Who basically, they leaked some PS5 stuff. They know their stuff. They talked about the PS5. So they've at least got a history of being correct. And they're claiming that the PS6 will be a Switch-style console. At least it will have a Switch version. Where, you've got a console, you can take it on the go, and then when you get home, you can dock it into your TV and play on the TV. That's what they're claiming, and I could totally see it. PlayStation has always copied Nintendo. I know some people, have problems with that. I get it. Again, especially with their history and everything, I get it. PlayStation wants to do the next big thing, and the Switch is selling really well. Xbox, they made a deal with Aces to do the Rogue Ally, which people are excited for, even though it's probably going to cost like $900. This new PlayStation, same thing. Them doing like because they have the PS Portal, which is like a $200 thing that allows you to stream PS5 games on the go. But just having a fully handheld PlayStation, not dissimilar to like the PS Vita or something like that. I don't think the PS Vita's coming back. The PSP branding, I don't think they're going to bring that back. I think that's dead. But, if they make a PS6 that is like the Switch, I think that's totally logical. I get it. Now, allegedly with this, it will have, the switchable version where you can play it on the TV and then take it on the go. But there will also be a traditional PS6 that doesn't do the switching, that can only be played on the TV. And yeah, I also totally believe that. It's kind of like the inverse of the Switch Lite. You know how you've got the Switch that you can plug in your TV and you can play in handheld mode, and then you have the Switch Lite, which can only be played in handheld mode. Imagine if Nintendo did the opposite. They have a Switch that can only be played in dock mode and can't be taken on the go. I could totally see PlayStation doing that, where they make a dock-only PS5 or PS6, but then you also have the one that you can take on the go. And then maybe they also do, the portable-only one. Because PlayStation's also been getting rid of their disc drive. That's another, that moves... Do I think they're going to be doing cartridges? Fuck no, probably not. I wish they would, because I like having physical games. But no, I could totally see PlayStation being like, yep, digital-only console, because we're definitely heading in that direction. But yeah, they also, when they talked about this, they also talked about like a bunch of stats. I didn't write any of it down. The console's supposed to be stronger than the PS5, stronger than the Steam Deck, stronger than the Switch 2. Oh wow, a console allegedly coming out in 2 years will be stronger than the Switch 2, a console that came out in current year. Oh shit, wow, that's so surprising. Or, a console stronger than the Steam Deck that came out like 4 years ago. Oh shit, I would have never seen that coming. Holy shit. No, none of that shit surprises me. Allegedly, they say it's going to be coming out late 2027, which, like, I can't remember who said it, but like a week or two ago, there was a statement where someone was like, we don't really need the PS6 and the Xbox Series X2. Like, people are still, happy with their PS5s and their Xbox Series XS's. We don't really need that upgrade. Like, we needed a Switch upgrade. The Switch was really struggling to run some games. We needed that upgrade. we don't need that upgrade for Xbox and PlayStation yet. At least I don't feel like we do. And I know part of Xbox's whole strategy is that they're getting away from console generations. That whatever the follow-up to the Xbox Series X is, probably isn't going to be like the Xbox Series X2. I totally get it. Honestly, I'm not buying an Xbox or a Steam Deck. I'm perfectly happy with my $450 brick. Yeah. But yeah, no, Xbox, Phil Spencer has said that, like, yeah, the end of console generations is upon us. That whatever comes next for Xbox isn't going to be the Series X2. It's going to be something else. And I wouldn't be surprised if every few years, kind of like a gaming PC, right? Xbox is just like, hey, here's the newest model of the Series X. They still call it the Series X, but you know, it's just got better tech, better specs, more storage. They're just, you know, upgrading the same console over and over again, instead of, you know, making the Xbox 720. You know, they're keeping it continuous. Because that's what I do think Xbox is becoming. Eventually, they're gonna be just another brand of gaming PC. You're gonna be able to play Steam on your Xbox. You're gonna be able to do the Windows Store stuff. People, you know, will do Linux and everything. They'll figure it out. I do think that's happening eventually. But yeah, PlayStation and Nintendo, they're more traditional when it comes to the console generation stuff. But also, the lines are kind of getting shaky there. So yeah, late 2027, I definitely feel like it's... Because the PlayStation doesn't have that many exclusives. And that's really, like, that was the PS4. Near the end of the PS4's lifespan, it was chock filled with so many exclusives. And the PS5 just doesn't have the sauce. I saw a thing the other day. Xbox has more console exclusives this generation than PlayStation. Admittedly, a lot of those console exclusives, quote unquote, they come, you know, I guess first-party games is the better term. Xbox has more first-party games than PlayStation. And that all comes from, you know, them buying up Activision, Blizzard King, and Bethesda, and all these other studios. But, like, yeah, no, I get it. I see how we got to this point. Admittedly, Microsoft used the brutal wings of capitalism to do it. But I get it. I don't like it, but I get it. So yeah, PS6, $500. That feels way too low. Like, people have been pointing out that, you know, this is the first ever console generation where the prices went up after 5 years. Admittedly, to be fair, that's out of the console manufacturer's hands. That's all fucking Donald Trump's fault. He's the one who destroyed the economy and, you know, put on these tariffs that make everything cost more. But, like, fuck, man. It sucks. It seriously sucks. And yeah, because, like, someone pointed out, like, when the original PlayStation came out, it launched at, like, $300, and within 5 years, you could get a PS1 for, like, $100. That's kind of crazy. Like, same thing with, like, the PS2. The PS2, it was a lot of Trump. I'm not going to say other people weren't involved, but it was a lot of Trump. Trump's a lot to blame for this. Actually, no. Biden did a lot of work to stabilize the economy after COVID. Things were actually looking... It didn't feel like it. Definitely. That's part of the reason Kamala Harris lost. Was because she was saying, hey, look at the economy. Everything's good now. But it still felt like shit. But yeah, technically under Biden, the economy was better. But it felt like shit. Meanwhile, under Trump, everything feels like shit. And it is shit. So, yeah. Listen, if Trump had done absolutely nothing, the economy would be in a lot better state than it currently is in. I'll put it like that. Because fuck him. But yeah, no. The console market, right? The PS2 was like by its 5th year, The PS2 was like $150. God, $150 PS2. No wonder those things sold 160 million units. That's cheaper. That was cheaper than most DVD players. That probably is still cheaper than most, like, Blu-ray, 4K Blu-ray players. Fuck. Alright, that's all the speculation station stuff I got. I guess let's get into WIBE. So, what have I been enjoying? I got 2 video games. I actually played some video game. Wow, you know, I played Hollow Knight, because I'm as excited for Silksong as everybody else is. Played that, and then Kirby's DLC released this past week for Kirby and the Forgotten Lands, and I've played a little bit of that. Not as much as I wanted to, but I played a little bit of it today. I did the first 2 worlds, so I want to talk about that. And then we've got some Dropout stuff. We had the secret 11th good episode of Game Changer, which I want to talk about. Massive spoilers for that. And then Gastronauts. We have the first... I think I didn't talk about Gastronauts like last week. I just completely forgot. We have the first 2 episodes of Gastronauts, so I want to talk about both of those. I'm sure I have miscellaneous stuff, and we'll get into the Marble League. Sound good? Sound peachy keen. Meanwhile, we're an hour and a half in. We haven't found a single Wooper. I am so unlucky tonight. I guess finding those rare cards in Pocket TCG drained all of my luck. Because we can't get shit right now. And we still got 2 guys to do after this. I don't know. Depending on time, we might just do the Woopers. If this takes us another, like, half hour, we might just do the Woopers tonight, and we'll go do the other stuff another night. Yeah. Alright, let's talk about Hollow Knight. So, Hollow Knight, I downloaded on the Switch too. I played Hollow Knight when it originally released on the Switch in 2018. I know it came out in 2017, didn't play it in 2017. I mentioned earlier Joseph Anderson. He was the one who was like, hey, play Hollow Knight. It was his 2017 Game of the Year. And so when it came out on the Switch in 2018, you better believe I was going to pick it up. I mean, I was already a fan of Metroidvanias, but regardless. So I played it when it came out. I think I got to like 85% in my original playthrough. You know, there's the legendary 112%. You do all the ascensions, you do all the arenas, the Godfall stuff. I've never done that. I've never done any of that. I have never fought the Radiance before. I've beaten the game and that's about it. I didn't even do the secret ending where you help out Hornet. I got the half of the King Seal, but for the other half you need to upgrade the Dream Nail. Never upgraded the Dream Nail, so I never got the other half. Maybe I'll do it on the second playthrough. I don't know. I only have like 7 more days until Silksong comes out. So I'm kind of running out of time. But we'll see what I can do. Because I'll say, I'm having a great time with the original Hollow Knight. I more or less remember things. Like, you know, we're starting off in the, you know, I can't remember the region. The underground area, the fucking under the well. What's it called? I'm gonna Google it. But yeah, I started off there. You know, I remembered, hey, you got to go fight the knight. You got to get the King Seal. That gets you one of the upgrades. I can't remember which one. Then afterwards, you go to Green Path. You fight Hornet. I beat the knight guy with the mace. Beat him on my first try. Super proud of that. The first Hornet boss fight, beat on my first try. Super proud of that as well. The second Hornet boss fight, which I have not gotten to yet, but I remember that one being a motherfucker. So I'm not exactly looking forward to that one. But I did the first one, and that went great. I had some other easy wins against some bosses. Yeah, you start off in the Forgotten Crossroads. There we go. I could not remember the name. But yeah, from there, I went to Green Path. I went down through Fog Canyon to the Fungal Wastes. I did not get lost in the Fungal Wastes this time. The first time I played the game, I got so fucking lost in the Fungal Wastes This time, I did not have that issue. Made it to the City of Tears. Eventually, I made my way up and around through the Royal... I went to the Royal Waterways before I did the Soul Sanctum. I did the Soul Sanctum, went back down to the Royal Waterways, went all the way down to the Ancient Basin. Hey, guess what? You need the double jump to get past this. Ah, fuck. So I went all the way back up, because in my memory, after you do Royal Waterways, you get stuck and you had to go to the Crystal Peak. So I went to the Crystal Peak, got the dash upgrade, you know, that lets you long dash, and it was like, okay, where do I go now? I had no idea. So I wandered around for a few hours, died a bunch of times in Green Path. Other bosses, I fought the Dung Defender, only died once. I think it took me 2 tries to do the Dung Defender. Soul Sanctum, no, maybe it took me 3 times to do the Dung, because I died during the Dung Defender after I did the Soul Sanctum. But because my most recent save point from the Dung Defender was the final boss of the Soul Sanctum, I kept going back there. So I had to make my way all the way from the Soul Sanctum boss down to the Dung... I can't remember the Soul Sanctum. It's like the Master something. The Master Soul or something like that. I beat that. That guy took me, again, like 2 or 3 tries. Dung Defender, yeah, it took me 3 or 2. In the Royal Waterways, the fucking pupa thing, the Flukemar, could not beat. I tried like a dozen times. I was really struggling against this. I was looking for Pale Ore, because I knew I had to do the Mantis Lords. That was something I distinctly remembered, that at some point I gotta go down and do the Mantis Lords, but I was like, I want my the needle upgrade before that. So I eventually got my needle upgrade, went down, did the Mantis Lords, and that's where I ended off. I'm currently down in Deep Nest. You know, when you fall down that giant pit and you land in the hot springs next with the bench. That's where I left off. I'm in that bench, just kind of waiting. There's still, you know, so much to do. There is something I cannot remember, because I didn't go back and check my original save file. I don't remember getting Isma's Tears in my original save file. I don't think you need that to beat the game, because when I got to Isma's Grove, I had no recollection of the area. And like, the way you get there is you gotta shoot through like this spiky region with the, you know, the super dash. Which I definitely remember seeing that, but I don't know if I ever went to Isma's Grove, because I don't remember being acid proof. And then when you leave Isma's Grove, you encounter like this bug in the City of Tears, and I don't remember this character at all. That's just like, I don't remember this character. So maybe I didn't do that on my first playthrough. Maybe I never became acid proof. But yeah, currently I'm in Deep Nest. I'm working through that. At some point, I made my way to the Resting Grounds. Honestly, I was just kind of, you know, after I climbed out of the Ancient Basin, I was like, okay, where do I go from here? I guess let's go to the Crystal Peaks. And along the way, I just kind of stumbled into the Ancient Basin. Or into the Resting Grounds. Just kind of stumbled upon it. Did all that. At some point, I went to the Hollowing Cliffs. You know, there wasn't really much there. So yeah, I'm working on it. But it's such a good game. It's definitely not, if you've never played a Metroidvania before, this one's a motherfucker. I definitely would not recommend it as the first Metroidvania. I would definitely recommend something more like Metroid Zero Mission. I think that's a lot more user-friendly. Yeah, especially over something like, again, Super Metroid's also not a good one to start off on. But Hollow Knight is so good. Combat, I remembered a lot more than I thought I did. That's all going great. You know, exploring the world, the art style, the music. It's all so good. I'm having such a great time. And yeah, I have also been Mossbag, who's like the guy known for Hollow Knight lore. I probably watched his videos when they came out, like 5-6 years ago. I've been kind of rewatching them, mostly as just like background noise, but they're also super interesting. Because I knew, like, I remembered the basics of the Hollow Knight lore. That, like, hey, there was this guy, there was the Pale King and the White Lady. They had a bunch of kids. One of them was the Hollow Knight, but the Hollow Knight, you know, he was supposed to seal away the radiance, but he loved his dad too much and wanted to make him proud, and so he couldn't seal away the radiance, and now you, as the new Hollow Knight, are coming in to, you know, defeat the radiance, or become, you know, the new prisoner of the radiance, whatever ending you get. Like, I kind of generally remembered that stuff, but there's so much more. And I did not remember any of, like, the Godspell endings. I had no recollection of any of that shit. Especially because, you know, the only ending I've ever got is the generic one, where you become the new Hollow Knight. That's the only ending I've ever gotten. So that's a whole thing. Yeah, I don't have time to go into Hollow Knight lore. Go watch the videos. They're really entertaining. I get why everybody likes Mossbag so much, and you know why everybody hates the game theory stuff. Totally understand. Did not rewatch that, but I did see it. I definitely saw the videos. So yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna keep playing Hollow Knight. I'm sure I'll be able to beat the game within the next week. I've come across no Primal Aspids yet, so that's good. But God, Primal Aspids. The crystal ones also suck. The ones you find in the Crystal Peaks, those guys are awful. But the Primal Aspids are something else. And I don't remember what triggers that. I know at a certain point, you know, the radiance starts leaking out. But I'm assuming it's whenever I get the first Dreamer, which I'm working towards, but, you know, it takes time. So, yeah. I guess let's talk about Kirby. So, I've been playing Kirby Star-Crossed Worlds. So, this is, you know, it's a $20 upgrade pass for Switch 2. Because, you know, I bought the original game on Switch, so I just bought the upgrade pass. I didn't rebuy the game. It is, if you never bought the game, it's $80, which I know seems like a lot, but you're getting a DLC along with it. You know, DLC is included in that $80 price point. I totally think it's worth it. Kirby and when Astrobot came out last year, a lot of people compared it to like Mario Galaxy and Mario Odyssey. And while I completely understand those comparisons, I think the best comparison is Kirby and the Forgotten Lands. That's the game that reminds me the most of Astrobot. So if you're looking for more of those like Astrobot vibes, Kirby and the Forgotten Lands is the game for you. It's a great game. Truly fantastic. High recommendations. High recommendations. So yeah, after that, we, So I played the game back when it originally released. I didn't 100% it. I want to say I got like 95%. Because there's a lot of Waddle Dees you have to go back and get. And I was like, you know what? I beat the game. I beat the true arena and everything. I'm good. I don't need to go back and get those last like few Waddle Dees. I didn't even bother. But now, this time I probably won't get all the Waddle Dees either. I might get all the Starries though. So basically, if you're playing a new game, because what I did was I just started a new save file. And if you start a new save file, basically after you beat the boss of every world, right? So after I beat Goromondo, the first world's boss, this meteor came crashing down from the sky, and it had the Void Heart in it, or the Dark Heart, or whatever it's called. And the crystal sealing the Dark Heart breaks. And now other levels that you've already played have been infected by the crystals. And I understand, like, some people would be worried, like, oh, you're just replaying the levels you've already played. And they start that way, but honestly, once you actually replay the levels, they feel very different. Like, the mall level starts off like the other mall, but almost immediately you take a detour and go in a wildly different direction. You know, I think is that the one where you get the cog and you become a hot cog? The first level, you know, the one where you're climbing the buildings, you get a spring, and basically it's like it's alternate routes to pre-existing levels. Other than that, you know, the gameplay basically plays completely the same, except for some few new power-ups. The spring, I think, is a fine power-up. It's a lot more like the Donkey Kong snake than it is the Mario Galaxy spring, which is good. And the gear, the hot cog, is fantastic. It's more about wall climbing than anything else, so that's a great one to explore. But yeah, basically every world seemingly has 2 new levels that have been, like, crystallized. And after you beat the boss of the world, you unlock the crystal levels, and slowly you're collecting the stars to, like, rebuild the crystal. But I'm sure once you do rebuild it, it's gonna, like, blow up in your face, and everything's gonna go wrong or something. I don't know, I haven't gotten there yet, but I've only done the first 2 worlds. But it's still a great game. It is so much fun. It's all the joy. It is... I know I'm one of those people... I think Robobot's the best one. There's a lot of things I really love about Robobot that it does that other Kirby games don't do. Specifically, I love how it does its gimmick. Forgotten Lands, though, I think is fantastic. It being in 3D, Kirby transitioned almost perfectly into 3D. It works so well. It is so fun. It's so creative. The Forgotten Lands are a joy to enjoy, and the Forgotten Lands are a joy to explore. It's all around a great game. I'm only 2 worlds in, again, having on my replay, but I'm having a great time. I really am. So yeah, I definitely recommend it. The new crystal levels, you know, it adds a new currency to the game, which I am, you know, all these fucking pachinko machines. To be fair, I don't think the pachinko machines in this game are as bad as, like, some of the stuff in in Robobot and Triple Deluxe. Those ones can be mean. This one's, I think, a little nicer, but still. But yeah, I'm having fun rebuilding Waddle Dee Town. I haven't unlocked the arena yet. I know that comes at a later point. I did get the cafe though, and yeah, it's just a cute game. What can I say? It's a cute, fun Kirby game. It's got a lot of good stuff in it. A good level design, good exploration. The power-ups are a lot of fun. Yeah, I definitely compare it to Astrobot. That is for sure. So far, the $20, I think it runs good on... I think the original game ran well. Like, I never had an issue with the frame rate or the graphics on the OG Switch. But I think, you know, everything's a lot crisper, runs a lot smoother on the Switch too. That's nice, that's good. Is the $20, you know, upgrade plus DLC, is it worth it? You know, maybe once I finish it, I'll give farther thoughts on that. But so far, so far, everything I've seen, I've liked. Yeah, anything else on Kirby? Just a really good game. Alright, let's talk Game Changer. So, Game Changer had its season finale outvoted 2 weeks ago. But afterwards, an ARG started. Technically, it started like earlier in the season, but people hadn't really noticed at the time. But there was this whole ARG about, like, going to this website, typing in, you know, this Samalamadingdong, and then it eventually unlocking stuff. It was this whole ARG that people figured out, and they cracked in, like, once people figured out there was an ARG, they cracked it in, like, 24 hours. And then when they cracked it, it was like, hey, Sam Reich is going to be doing an Instagram Live here in like 2 weeks. So, you know, 2 weeks was on Monday, he did the Instagram Live, and then the episode released. So I'm just going to go full spoilers for the episode. Just a quick heads up on that. I'm going to give away the whole game here. I highly recommend watching it. It is... saying what I was about to say is spoilers. It's a good episode. It's a great episode and a great way to end the season. I would highly recommend it. But yeah, it's just, man, Game Changer's so fucking good. And this is the perfect cherry on top to end the season. Truly is. Even though I think Outvoted was also a good season finale. So, spoiler alert, Samalamadingdong is the Gotcha Sam episode. You know, they've always joked about how, like, oh, any random day, you know, you come into the office and it could become a Game Changer episode. You know, you go to shoot an episode of Dimension 20, or, you know, they're shooting season 4 of Critical Role, and surprise, surprise, it's a Game Changer episode. You know, it could happen at any point, on any day, at any time. Well, the episode starts with Sam doing, like, a interview photo shoot for Vanity Fair, when, surprise, surprise, Brennan comes out and is like, hey, I'm the Minotaur, you're gonna get the horns, you're trapped in my labyrinth, and I'm the puzzle master. And so, yeah, they basically, this episode is, you know, the Getcha Sam episode. But it very much feels like a series finale. If I didn't know any better, I would say this is the final episode of Game Changer. This one pays tribute to basically all the previous seasons. It's a massive love letter to everything they've done, different elements of the show, some of the best episodes of the show. It is a fantastic episode that very much feels like a series finale. I know it's not, at least I don't think it is, but it very much feels like it. And it's a fantastic episode. So yeah, the whole thing is Sam is locked inside this castle, and it's an escape room. He has to work his way through the escape room, and all of the clues in the escape room are references to different Game Changer episodes. So, like, the first thing he does is he has to get this, like, mouth thing, this, like, so there's the mouth from the Nom Nom episode, and he has to feed it something. And he has to feed it the tuna from Mountport, because that's another callback. And after doing that, he gets another clue that takes him to another location. Eventually, you know, Katie is there as a knight, and she gives him a clue. And he eventually, you know, figures things out. And then he moves on to a different room, and there's a different puzzle. You know, just so on and so forth. He saves his wife. Elaine is there, playing bingo against him. He saves her. He destroys a $6,000 prop, which was funny. That's a good one. Okay, so months ago on TikTok, somebody made, you know, people have made fake Game Changer episodes, just pointing at, like, the premise of the show, and like, hey, wouldn't it be funny if, wait, there it is. Fuck! It was right there! It was right fucking there! After almost 2 hours, we finally found one. And I accidentally misclicked and picked... Fuck! Oh my god. You know, in all the years we've been doing shiny hunts in Scarlet and Violet, I think that's the first time I've ever done that. Where I've accidentally clicked Picnic. Because I always try to save. Because if you save, you can always reload the game, and, you know, in case you, like, fuck it up or something. You can always go back and get it. That's the first time, though, I've accidentally clicked Picnic instead of save and lost the shiny. It was right fucking here. Fuck. Nope. Fuck. I know 2 hours is nothing for, like, older generation shiny hunters, but, you know, for us doing this in, like, a single night, oh, that sucks. Oh gosh. I can't believe, and I'm honestly kind of surprised that's the first time. There's no way that's the first shiny I've missed, though. I have 100% walked past shinies in the past and just not... The Meryl one drives me crazy. Or the Poliwag one. there are, like, looking back through that footage, there are so many moments where I see something and I'm like, that was probably a shiny and I just didn't notice. But that sucks. Fuck. Alright, Game Changer, he destroys a $6,000 prop, which is very funny. Oh yeah, somebody did a bit. So on TikTok, people have been making their, like, fake premises for Game Changer episodes. Where, like, one of them was, I'm gonna see if I can find some of these people real quick. But one of them was like, hey, you know, we sent our players away on a vacation. Like, we sent them away for a weekend. But meanwhile, we told all their friends and family that the vacation had been canceled, and we instead got, like, you know, actors to take their place and pretend to be them with the one goal of ruining their lives. And now we're gonna see, like, what, you know, now the players are coming back and they have to pick up the pieces of their ruined lives. It's a really funny moment. All right, that's a really funny potential Game Changer episode. I saved it. That was created by Philip Demas on TikTok. That was one of his ideas. And then the person I actually... The other person I'm talking... So, you know, people have been making their fake Game Changers. And somebody made a fake Game Changer that was the labyrinth. Sam locked Brennan, Lou, and Izzy in a labyrinth. They were being chased by Jacob Wysocki, the Wasaki Tar. And they came to the door with Shaban and Erica. And it was one of us tells the truth, the other one lies. And that's kind of what plays out in the episode. I mean, Brennan's the Minotaur, Sam's the player, and it's Ross and... who's the other one? Ross and Raph as the two guards. But I cannot believe they fucking someone back in... Someone named Knife Lore. Or Cars_2 on TikTok fucking predicted this whole thing back in June 18th. That's crazy. Yeah, but just to see all those elements come together was really cool. You know, Apollo and the Gift of Prophecy and all that. So yeah, it's, you know, it's a great episode, right? He breaks the vase, he saves Elaine Carroll. Eventually he has to do Sam Says, but it's Cerberus Says because it's Jacob, Vic, and Izzy. He eventually goes out, he fights Brennan. And yeah, it ends with them having a party. And yeah, it's just, you know, it's a good, happy ending to the episode. You know, it's good to see them get one back on Sam after all these years. It very much feels like a season finale. With all the references, with all the callbacks, you know, them just doing some of their best bits. Getting revenge on Sam. This feels like it should be the end of the show. If Game Changer ended right here, it will be the perfect ending. I don't think it is. You know, they still have... the game changes every episode. There is so much potential there. I don't think we're done with Game Changer anytime soon. But this was a great episode. I'll be honest, this season was so good. I don't know how they top it. It's kind of one of those things where it's like, okay, I understand trying to, you know, you keep climbing up the mountain, you've reached a new peak. Where do you go from here? You know, what's the next mountain? I don't think I'd be too upset, though, if they kind of, you know, scaled things back. Maybe we got some more Game Samers. Because it's been a while since we've got a Game Samer. But, you know, just something like that. Because, yeah, this was all new ideas. And it's really cool that Crowd Control is becoming its own show. Because that had so much potential. I totally understand why that would be its own thing. But yeah, if they go a little smaller next season, I'm not going to be upset. Because this one was crazy. And I don't know how you top that. I really don't. But it's a good finale. It was a good season. Genuinely, Dropout is fantastic. The other show on Dropout is Gastronauts. So Gastronauts is a show run by Jordan Myrick. Myrick? That sounds right in my head. Where it's them, they get 3 comedians, and they get 3 chefs. And the comedians come up with, like, prompts for dishes. And then the chefs have to make those dishes. So we got the first 2 episodes of the season. Admittedly, one episode came out like 2 weeks ago, and I think I just forgot to talk about it. And yeah, I think it's a pretty good start to the season. I think the episode that came out today, August, well, it would have been 29th, was fantastic. I think it's one of the best episodes of the show. Because they got the Smosh cast. Specifically, Amanda, Tommy, and... oh, fuck. Why am I forgetting her name? Amanda, Tommy, and... God, my head is just going Amanda again, but I know that's wrong. Give me a second. I'm, Amanda, Tommy... It's not Erica. It's, Is that shiny? Oh my gosh, I have killed so many Tauroses in this game, and I'm always on the lookout for a shiny, but I can never tell, because the only difference is the head's a little darker. I mean, the whole body might also be darker, but mainly the head's darker. No, that one just looked different. Angela. I knew... Angela, Tommy, and Amanda. I knew it started with an A. God, that was driving me crazy. So they got 3 people from Smosh on this episode, and they were fantastic. The 3 challenges in this new one, there was a bone challenge where they had to do edible bones, and you know, someone does like bone broth, another person did like anchovies, and the third one did like full-on edible fish with like edible bones. That one was good. All 3 of the chefs in this episode were great. They had good rapport. They were making their own little jokes and side remarks. The chefs were great. Like, sometimes, you know, I get it. You pay the comedians to do the comedy, you pay the chefs to do the cooking, and they do their jobs and they stick to it because that's what they're good at. This one, actually, I think the chefs did a little bit of the comedy, and I think they did a decent job. You know, they had some entertaining moments. Yeah, the bone challenge was good. The sex challenge, man. The egg roll with mac and cheese in it was, for fellatio, was good. The missionary burger, was it missionary burgers? Just the burgers fucking each other was funny. And then doing missionary food, you know, for missionary position. Good joke. Totally great joke there. And then the other one, the last challenge was, jewelry. You know, jewelry just feels like a standard challenge on this show. Someone made a crown. There was a whole, there were necklaces with, like, olives and blue cheese. There was another necklace with, what was it called? What is it? It's mozzarella, tomatoes, bread. What the fuck is that called? Why am I it's not charcuterie jewelry was the challenge. But that specifically has a name that I am just completely spacing on right now. God, I'm still so annoyed. We found a shiny and it wasn't the one we're looking for. And I'm still annoyed that 2 hours in we haven't found... This... I don't know why. I don't know why this one sucks. This is a good location. We're finding almost 20 Whoopers per reset. That's way more than we did. That's 5 more than the max you could find in the original Switch version. And this is still taking forever. I don't think we're going to get to the other 2 hunts tonight. We'll probably have to do those next week. I don't know, we'll see. Yeah, no, the challenge was good this week. They were all a lot of fun. Some good ideas. I think this was a great episode with some good results. Last week's episode was Katie, Raph, and Teo. And you had Katie's was white people food. Make the blandest food possible. Which I'm surprised that hasn't been done on the show before. That seems like such an obvious one to make like the blandest food but still make it good. I liked that. There was one, I think this was the goo one. There was like make goo food or something like that. I don't entirely remember the details on that one. This is why I try to talk about the episode when it happens. Yeah, I think this was, yeah, the goo one. So that was, but yeah, the first episode was a good, you know, bring back the season. You know, you had some fun with it. But yeah, no, I think the second episode was great. Just all around a good time with some creative premises. I had a great time with it. Raps? Was the first one Raps? Was there hair? I don't remember any of the challenges from the first episode. Oh, was it like, I see like, oh, rituals. I want to say somebody, it was like do like a ritual with like eating food. Yeah, that was a whole thing. And they did like the vegan duck. Yeah. Yeah, there's some good ones. I can't remember if that was Raph or Teo's challenge. But yeah, Gastronauts is not your, like, typical cooking show. You know, when you think of, like, cooking competition, you think of, like, Chopped, or Guy's Grocery Games, or Cutthroat Kitchen. You know, stuff like that, where the contestants are given certain, you know, tasks and challenges, and only have so much time, and, you know, they have to work within the tasks, or the items in the basket. And don't get me wrong, I love some of those shows. I've seen a lot of Guy's Grocery Games over the years, because it's a fun idea. Cutthroat Kitchen, I think, is a really interesting concept that I have not watched nearly enough of. And then Chopped is, you know, just kind of the same thing. And while it is good, I kind of got sick of it after a while. Because, you know, same thing kind of with Guy's Grocery Games as well. I kind of, after, like, seeing, you know, 20 seasons, I was kind of like, okay, I'm good. But no, I think what makes is it's not a cooking challenge like typical. Like, the chefs go in knowing, like, hey, these are the meals we're going to be making. These are the challenges we're given. You know, they're not, there's a time limit, but that's just like a general show time limit. You know, they know what they're going to be cooking. They've prepped stuff in advance. Because this isn't like Guy's Grocery Games has like an entire grocery store to pick from. This one, they don't have that luxury. They come in with what they have. Nothing more, nothing less. And I think that's the best way to do things. You know, having things... For a show like this, that is, again, equal parts comedians doing things and whatnot. I don't actually watch Hell's Kitchen. I know a lot about Guy... I've seen a lot of Guy's Grocery Games over the years. But I don't actually watch Hell's Kitchen. I watched the 3 cooking shows I've listed. Guy's Grocery Games, Chopped, and Cutthroat. And I haven't seen Cutthroat in years. But yeah, no, Gastronauts is, you know, it's not a it's a competition because you're baking for the best dish, but it's more about executing the concept than, like, making the food under pressure. And then they're also judging the comedians on who created the best idea. That's also good. So yeah, I think it's a fun, solid show. It's a lot less... It's, you know... Oh, another one, The Great British Bake Off. It's more like that, you know? Because The Great British Bake Off, outside of, like, the... What's the The freezer incident has a name. But I don't remember what it is. It's the chiffon incident? Let me just... Great British Bake Off freezer incident. The Baked Alaska controversy. That's what it was. Outside of the Baked Alaska controversy, the Great British Bake Off is a very casual baking show. And that's part of its charm. You know, the American shows are so serious. Great British Bake Off is so casual. And Gastronauts kind of feels that way as well. It's very casual. It's kind of lighthearted. You know, there's no money involved. All you get is a real-life piece of the moon or a piece of the sun, you know. But I get it. I do get it. Yeah. God, yeah, the big Alaska incident. I don't know, man. The Great British Bake Off is decent, but sometimes, man, I did watch their Mexican Week episode. My gosh, that's atrocious. If you ever want a good laugh, like, it's bad. It's culturally insensitive. But man, can it be fucking funny. The thing better than watching the Mexican episode of the Great British Bake Off is watching an actual Mexican watch that episode. That's even funnier. Oh my gosh. Just thinking about it, you know, using a fucking lemon peeler to fucking peel an avocado. Oh my gosh. Oh god, their description of Tres Leches cake, which goes against everything that Tres Leches cake is. Oh my god. I'm laughing just thinking about it. It's so fucking offensive. Alright, I guess that takes us to miscellaneous. I don't really have much to talk about. So, have I talked about my mother's video games in a while? I'm still trying to convince her to come play Pikmin on stream. I still think that would be funny. I swear I'm wearing her down. But, you know, it's the commitment part that's hard. And finding time. You know, we're both working adults. That's kind of hard to do. But one day I'll get her to play Pikmin. But she's been playing Spider-Man. Because, you know, she's played all the Arkham games. Well, okay, she didn't play Arkham Origins, but she played Knight, she played City, she played the other one. And so she's been going through... It's a video diary, so a Twitch stream. Listen, I'm working on it, okay? I'm wearing her down. It takes time. I don't know. I think it'd be funny. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah. And then she'll have her own model. You know? She won't be me. She won't be a marble. She'll have her own thing. That's another thing that I have to do. Oh my gosh. My father's an artist. You know, he paints. And he watches, you know, YouTube videos on painting. And I don't know who he was watching. But it was like one of those people, like a Jaden Animations, but where they have like their own model that goes around and whatnot. And she was, I can't remember who he was watching. I know it was a woman. But he was like learning basically what a VTuber is, a PNG tuber, all this. You know, again, think like Jaden Animations or something like that. And he was learning about it, watching this YouTube video about art. And then he was like telling me about it. And I was like, yes, that's kind of what I do on stream. Admittedly, mine's a lot more rudimentary, but yeah, okay. It's fun. It's fun. God. Oh, so my mother's been playing Spider-Man. But also, there was a Switch sale recently where a bunch of games were on sale. And, no, they don't. Oh, God, no. Not at all. They barely play video games. But I bought them a copy of Cuphead. So they played Cuphead for the first time. There's our Whooper. Fucking finally. I bought them a copy of Cuphead. It ain't going well. They played the first boss. They've played the first run and gun. It's going terribly. And they're scared. They played it for like 30 minutes. And now they're scared to go back. Yeah. It did not go well. It was really funny though. At least to give my parents credit, they are better than the game's journalists. The tutorial, you know, the legendary Cuphead tutorial, where that one IGN guy, who gets way too much shit, by the way. I'm totally on that guy's side, by the way. They did the tutorial in like less than 5 minutes compared to that IGN guy. Holy shit, did we just find... We couldn't... Over 2 hours, we couldn't find a single one, and then we find them back to back. Holy shit. You should low-key show. Amazing category. Pools, beaches. Oh my god, nah. He'd be in... Again, he's into art and whatnot. And he's more of a YouTube guy and TikTok and whatnot. But yeah, so they played Cuphead, they struggled, they refused to go back. It's been, I think that was like 2 weeks ago now. They have not touched Cuphead since. They're scared. But my mother's been playing Spider-Man. She beat Spider-Man PS4. She beat the game, she battled Doc Ock. She actually, it does show that she's getting, admittedly, she was playing on the easiest difficulty. But she beat the game with only like 2 deaths. I think the only time she died in the game were like the Mary Jane Miles Morales missions. And then I think she died fighting Rhino and Scorpion. That was it. I think she only died like, 2 or 3 times in the entire game. So she's definitely getting better. At least that I know of. Yeah. And so she beat that one, and she's currently playing through Miles Morales. She's playing through the Miles Morales game. You know, she knows Finn's the Tinkerer. When I was talking to her earlier, she found out, Finn found out Miles was the Tinkerer. She's super invested in it. She doesn't realize that she's almost done with the game. Because the Spider-Man Miles Morales on PS4 and PS5 is not that long. It's a pretty short game compared to the first one. And yeah, she's almost done with it. But she doesn't... She thinks she's still, like, early on. She thinks she's still, like, doing, like, the Shocker missions in the first game. No, she's almost done. At least I think she is. It's been a while since I played it. Because it's a quick... I mean, we streamed it in, like, 5 hours. We did everything. We did all the side missions. You know, that didn't take us that long. And then after that, you know, she's going to play Spider-Man 2. Which, we'll see how that goes. But, yeah, she's getting close. So that's what they've been playing. But, yeah, no, I want her to stream Pikmin. I think that would be so funny. At least I'd find it funny. I don't know if anybody else would. I worry it's one of those things where it's like, oh, yeah, I find it hilarious. But nobody else does. Yeah, seeing them do Cuphead would also be funny. I don't know if anything's going to happen. Like, I make no promises. But, yeah, it's good times, you know? They're playing more and more games. How many have my parents beat this? At least my mother, because, like, she has a list. And I have access to that list. Let's see, she has played 6 games this year, which isn't a lot, but hey, that's not bad. She's played 6, beaten 4, she's working on the other... You know, I included Cuphead in that, obviously. Yeah. She'll probably do 1 or 2 more before the year ends. I don't know. Yeah. So we'll clear out these Whoopers, and then we'll boot up the Marble League, and we'll see how it all ends. We'll see if my Team Galactic, you know, we weren't doing so hot last time. I think we were in like 12. But come on, I know we can finish strong. At least I hope we can finish strong. So yeah, we'll take a minute to see that. All right, let's go look at our Wooper and our Quagsire. And we'll do Mudsdale and Drillbur next week. Maybe. I don't know. I'm trying to switch... Right now, I'm trying to switch between Galaxy 2 and Pokemon. We're trying to do alternating weeks. We'll see. I might as well also show off the Shiny Chien-Pao. Alright, let me... I think it's just level up. Yeah, that seems right. There we go. Look, it's like the card we got earlier. Look at them. They're purple. Honestly, the lighting doesn't make them look that different. Like, I can definitely tell there's a difference, but they still mostly look brown, but I know they're supposed to be like a purplish. I don't know. I like Clodsire. I wish they had, you know, a better moveset and whatnot, but I get it. They're an early game Pokemon. But they're still, you know, cute. And then we got the Tauros, which I can't tell the difference. And Chinpao, which I honestly think Shiny Chinpao looks great. Which you can still... I want to say you have until August 3rd, until today, to get the Wo-Shin. I think the Chinpao lasts another, like, week or two. The Tai Lung raids are currently going. And then the other raid goes on, starts, like, here in a few days. As does, I think the next event starts on September 1st. So, yeah. Yeah, look at them all. We've done some hard work here. I cannot believe it took us over 2 hours just to get 2 guys. When last week, in like 50 minutes, we got, what, like 9? Okay, it was probably 7, but still. Alright, let's... BRB. Let me flip that over, boot that. Hit that, go there, do that. See, look at that, Marbula 1, already starting. Change that. Hey, look at that, we're marbles now. Alright, so we have Collision, Elimination Race, and then the grand finale, which is Sand Rally. So, I guess let's get into it.
Life comes at you pretty quickly, and so too do the other teams
Let me
rolling down that
turn it up
opposite
real quick.
ramp, heading directly for you in the event we have today. A test of strength, physicality, some strategy, and obviously your mettle. This is Collision in the 2025 Marble League. Hey everybody, I'm Greg Woods. Hard to believe, no teams have been eliminated yet.
Yeah, no team's been eliminated. Every team has a medal. Currently, we're in 11th. I want to at least finish top 8. That's my biggest hope and dream.
They're now up
is
into
top 8.
second place. How about the Blackjacks up 7
but
into 6?
Yeah, we'll see. Collision.
The bottom, Momo, Limers,
oh God, are we good at Collision?
Raspberry Racers were dropping snowballs.
I honestly don't remember.
Here's how Collision works. You're going to roll directly at the other team, collide in the middle, and go flying off to the side. The goal is to stay on the platform.
Okay, it's to stay. I couldn't remember if it was knock over or stay on.
There's also those triggered ball bearings that come rolling down or shooting across the arena. That
and
can
you got
also
the dominoes.
You'll see a lot of different strategies of how the teams approach this event, how they line up in the blocks, or how they choose to make impact.
Okay, no, that's something in the thing. I hear like this, like tapping.
4 different groups.
I think that's something in the video.
Oh, Rangers and Mellow Yellow get us started, and each team loses a couple right off the bat. Oh, Rangers
yeah, no, they tied.
2 to the bottom side. And
I don't think this is a best like 2 out of 3 event. It might be.
Team nodded at 2.
No, okay, it just counts for equal points.
Limers and Raspberry Racers.
Oh wow.
Raspberry Racers have
not good for you,
Limers. Limers have any? No, they do not. A couple of those.
Yeah, they all just go out right there. Holy crap.
They just went straight through. Now, yes, that is a part of the strategy as well. Prime the teams to hit together and then just move to the side and let their own momentum.
Yeah, okay, I remember how this works.
And send them off.
Yeah, they play in like bracket. They
both teams learned groups. This time. Only 1 lost, 5-4. See over there on the left, that's where the Limer
making a bunch
knocked
of
on through. The other dominoes were dislodged by the ball bearings. Mellow Yellow and Raspberry Racers now, and Mellow Yellow lost 3 to the bottom side, and the ball bearing tries to knock another one off.
I mean, I'd expect nothing less from the Raspberry Racers.
4 on the table. 4-2.
You know, the one thing I didn't do before, I'm
Rangers
kind of sad I
and
didn't do before the league ended, was I had an idea on how to like update our little marble to make it look a little better, and I just ran out of time. I mean, I probably did have the time, but I just never got around to it. Especially like this week specifically. I was like, I'm not going to do it because this is the final time I'll be using this for a while. Probably not until I would say it's not going to be until the league next year. I will probably use this again sooner than that, but I'm not going to do Marbula 1. It's I never have, you know, I'll wait for some other event.
Don't call out the score until all marbles have settled.
I still think this is so funny.
A, those advancing will be the O'Rangers and Raspberry Racers.
When I do like short bits like that,
and Mellow
it looks
Yellow.
weird.
Latter of whom is our third
yeah, when I laugh, it
place
looks
team
weird
in the standings.
Other than that, it's funny.
They go no further. Momo and the Oceanics get us started here in the second group. And it will be Momo getting the head-to-head win, 4-3. 3 of Momo missed entirely, all to the bottom side. They only lost 1 of those marbles off the table. Bumblebees and Balls of Chaos now. That was a fairly square impact for a few. Early losses stabilized. We're watching a couple of the marbles rolling toward the edges. But
20 minutes, okay.
It is called 3-2.
You never know with some of these, because there are definitely some events that take like an hour.
It's actually been a while since we've even had this event in the Marble League.
Yeah, I was, because the last time I know some of these events are like cursed.
Over there in the upper right. Nope,
it was Collision that took out Team Momo, right? They hit like a fidget spinner. So it's been a while. But I can't remember if that was Collision or if that was a winter event.
Back then it was won by Team Primary.
If I had to guess, it was probably when the Bumblebees hosted was the last time we saw Collision, which was, what, 23? I think that was the first year we streamed the Marble League, was 23. Because we did in 24, we did All-Stars, we did, I think we did Survival 100.
One gold medal, but they're last in the
and yeah, I think I either think we did the Winter League, or when the Bumblebees hosted,
there and the ball bearings
or we definitely talked about it, that's for sure.
One apiece on the table.
We do get to find out who the host is for next year.
Look to the bottom
I mean,
side here,
the obvious thought is, of course, the Savage Speeders. They, you know, they're one of the biggest teams.
Also sending
I totally, because it's not going to be whoever wins. I don't think it's ever been one of the top 3.
Oceanics bump up against the wall, but managed to keep most of them on.
And I know the O'Rangers were a controversial host this year, but I think they did a great job.
Look at the one perched up
I've genuinely had a great time with their show this year. I think the new events, Lasso and Rodeo, Bocce, have all been really solid, even if I don't know how to pronounce Bocce.
Advance. The lowest 2 in the group by current standings in the Marble League will be moving on versus the leader in the championship, the Oceanics. They're out. Snowballs. Green Ducks. Snowballs leave one dead in the center there. And only lose 1 each. Green Ducks, bronze medalists back in 2022. Cobalts and Midnight Wisps come down now.
Cobalts have been doing really well. You know, this is their redemption year. And so far as redemption years go, well, yeah, they started off bad. After like the halfway point, they've gotten a lot better. And so I think anything is possible.
Never medaled in this
nobody's, at least as of, you know, the start of this event, nobody's been mathematically eliminated. There's no way we finish this event without mathematically eliminating somebody. I just hope it's not me.
Here head to head against the Snowballs, however. Talking about past historical success, really team primary.
I'm hearing like in
one
my
of the better ones in this one.
left
Winners
ear.
in 2022, but bronze
I'm
medalists
hearing a
2
ticking.
years in a row beyond
and
that.
I don't know if that's the video. I think that's the video.
As
But
Green
it
Ducks and
might be
Midnight
my
Wisps
headphones
see one of
breaking.
the Wisps shoot off toward the 4 o'clock.
But I think it's the
angle here,
video.
and lose another one that
Oops.
broke the tie, giving the Green Ducks the win here in Group C, match number 4. Thunderbolts have also been in there, silver medalists, gold medalists a couple times. As the Wisps and Snowballs go once again. Wisps with the current lead, and it looks like that's where it's going to stay. Nobody with enough energy to knock over the dominoes. And the Midnight Wisps, who are currently sitting in 7th in the overall standings. They dropped 4 after the last event in the Sand Moguls. Ducks and the Cobalts. Oh, hard impact. Ball bearings
I know
still
the
working
Ducks
their way. Cobalts
desperately
get a couple
need
of friendly
this.
bounces off
Because
the
it has
walls.
not... They've won one
And this
medal,
one
but
will
other than
also
that,
end
it's
in
not
top.
been a good year for them. Not as bad as some of the others. I mean, I know Limers also won a medal,
Had near
but I know
misses
they're
with
also
ball
not doing
bearings.
great.
Managed to
I don't know.
stay safe.
I can't really
What's it do
remember
for
the standings
overall?
right now.
Cobalts advance,
I don't think the
Green
Snowballs
Ducks
are doing
advance.
well. I don't think
Nobody won more than
primary
one
in
match
this.
in that group.
No, I don't remember.
Ready for Group D.
I don't think
Blackjacks
either of these
and
teams are doing
Savage
Blackjacks and the
Speeders
Savage
come out now.
Speeders.
Speeders, gold medalists at this event back in 2020.
Yeah.
And as
Yeah,
everybody
I don't.
settles, they'll
The Speeder. I know a lot of people are
draw
saying
on the first
Speeder's
match.
dynasty is over. We'll see, but I still don't. They haven't just overnight become a bad team. Just because they didn't knock it out of the park,
Large
top
ball
like
bearings.
5
Once
this
they
year.
start circling those
All right, here we're
magnets,
up. We're up.
They are dastardly. Team Galactic, Pinkies
Come
now.
on, just get one of them.
Pinkies had
There we
everybody
go.
on
Tie it
until
up.
those
I'll
ball
take a
bearings
tie.
Gave a bit of help. Instead, we end.
We needed
4-4.
that.
As we saw in the last group, draws will not hurt you.
Doesn't
Just
help
depends
you
on what
though.
everybody else does in the group. Blackjacks and
Come on, we can beat
Galactic
the
now. They get their turn.
Blackjacks.
Silver medalists were Galactic.
Okay, I guess we can't beat the
3 years ago.
Blackjacks. Shit.
But it's the Blackjacks get the better hand this time, 3-2
Funny.
in match 3. Only one of the Blackjacks even made it past mid-court. The rest were sent backwards on the collisions.
Sometimes
That
that's how
worked
you
out
gotta
because
play
they
it
did
though.
not have enough energy imparted to them to knock over the dominoes.
Because
Instead,
yeah,
they
if you just
sent
barrel
that all
through,
toward the other
you're
team.
going out the other end
Pinkies,
unless you hit the
4-2
ramp,
over the Savage Speeders here. Pinkies,
which you're not.
runners-up in this
You're not
event.
going to hit the ramp,
Marble
only in
Maniacs
very
2020.
specific circumstances.
They lost out that year to the Shining Swarm. Blackjacks and Pinkies, down they come. Blackjacks
Oh,
lost one
Blackjacks,
very
yeah,
early,
doing
but
pretty
managed
solid.
to keep everybody else safe. They get the win, 4-3. Pinkies lost one. Look on the top side there, straight through that wall.
All right, we got to do well here.
Speeders, Galactic. Once we get through this
We-
group format,
we
then
need
it becomes
this.
a
Yeah, we
tournament-style
needed that. Oh my
bracket.
gosh.
And Team
That-
Galactic also beats
A
the
tie,
Speeders 4-2.
a loss, and a win.
They were a lot tighter in their formation.
We might be
They set one
okay.
marble strategically onto that corner ramp,
I don't know.
losing some of the energy against that
No,
ball
we're
bearing.
not. Shit.
Blackjacks, Pinkies.
We
Move
were
on.
up +1, but we lost at the
Might
end
be
there.
Ties broken by the points for.
Yeah,
You've
shit.
got points for and points allowed.
Other than that, we were.
So the
we
teams
were
that were
doing-
eliminated at the group
We
stage,
did
they
decent, but yeah,
sashay
losing
their
that.
way off the screen.
I mean,
Ninth
ninth,
through
okay.
16th.
Hopefully
Locked
that
in.
doesn't kill
Galactic
us
on
in
down
the,
to the last place
hopefully we
Speeders.
get to stay where we are at 11. That's my hope with
All
that.
kinds of different brackets
But
and tournament
I don't
styles that you
know.
can do with the Skyway Chase
That's
set.
not great. That's not
Send
great for
whatever
us.
teams you want in whatever style of
We're gonna
competition
fall down
you
another like
choose,
2 or 3.
all to determine a winner. Got to give a shout out for that torch still burning bright up there. Nice flame. I had a nice discussion about that torch just this morning from a marshal from Dodge City. His name is Matt, if I remember right. He's a big fan of smoke. O-Rangers, Green Ducks get us started, and O-Rangers will advance in the first of the tournament brackets over the Green Ducks, this being the quarterfinal.
Is it just
lost up top? Green Ducks
1v1s?
found their way through the gap down on the bottom. O-Rangers just missed it, bumping against those two dominoes that stayed upright. Balls of Chaos,
It
Pinkies.
might just... I don't think it's 1v1s, but...
Balls of Chaos, silver medalist 2019. Ball bearings spread across. Couple of gaps. Trapped the Pinkies on the right there.
If
Sent
ties
two
are
of
still
them
work
off,
like
but
this,
Balls of Chaos
it
in the
can't be.
meantime. Looks like they did about the same thing. Two of theirs went through the same gap, and we are locked at 3. So we go to overtime.
No, okay, I guess it's just single round
Marbles remaining.
elimination.
Come back down.
Wow.
Everybody stays
That-
on.
that's
for the
gonna be
Balls of
harsh.
Chaos. Pinkies lost 2 over on the bottom right. And Balls of Chaos move on. Chaos just juked to the side, and that let the Pinkies carry too much speed right through the domino wall and out. Cobalts, Raspberry Racers. Most of the Cobalts go
Wow.
backwards.
Again, Cobalt
They
Redemption
sent
year.
Raspberry Racers tumbling sideways and off the course, and Cobalt's strategy worked, 4-3. They will advance to the semis. No interesting formations that we've seen so far this year. Perhaps that was clarified in the rules. Everybody has to start side by side.
Yeah, no, that's for the best though.
Black Jackson Momo. Boy, Momo had a hard collision with the ball bearing right in the middle of the course. Got airborne, but managed to keep 4 marbles of the 5 in the arena. And they will advance from the Blackjacks.
So that makes it what?
It was
Rangers,
actually already airborne because
Momo,
the
Cobalts,
Momo representative
and
leapt over one of the magnets.
Balls of Chaos.
We're down to our 4 remaining teams. 5th
I
through
think
8th
Balls of
set
Chaos are
Pinkies,
lower on the
Racers,
rankings.
Green Ducks,
I know I
and
said
the
primary
Blackjacks.
earlier. I think I was thinking of Balls of Chaos.
Rangers,
And they've
Balls
got
of
to
Chaos.
be because I'm forgetting
In
they
semifinal
exist.
1.
The
Solid
Oceanics are,
sends
even though they're
both
not
teams
in it, this
backwards.
event anymore.
Pretty
You know,
evenly.
the Oceanics are still doing
That is
great.
reflected
So
in the score, 2-2. We're going
They're
going to
be a hard one just to dethrone in
We'll
general.
only have 2
Because even though they haven't been
in
doing
the
great
ramps.
recently, the Oceanics
Gotta
are
be
just had
strategic
such a
here.
lead for such a long time. All right, let's take this sucker into overtime.
They're spaced apart. What's the strategy? Rangers converge.
Double
And we're trying
overtime?
again. Differing strategies.
Oh,
that we saw.
wow,
Look at how
that's-
close the Rangers were. Balls of Chaos tried to play it safe. Instead, one of theirs goes through an existing gap over on the right. Balls of Chaos and Rangers will go.
All right, let's do this double overtime.
Marble.
Oh!
And the better brush off the wall goes to Balls of Chaos.
Wow.
Both marbles were sent sideways, but the Rangers received more force from Balls of Chaos, and as a result, had more energy peeling off toward that top side wall. Watch down here in the bottom. 2, almost 3 dominoes were nudged, but did not give. Cobalts and Momo to decide the other half of who makes it to the final. Cobalts
Holy
go sideways.
crap.
They're flirting with one of the openings down on the bottom.
Wow.
But they keep all 5 on.
And yeah, they're going to call it at 5. Wow. You know,
What
it's
a run
yeah,
by Cobalts.
the team on the redemption
Finding
year
safety
and the
wherever
team that
they
had their
can.
redemption year last year.
Team Momo beaten
Wow.
by 3. Rangers and Team Momo will go off to the consolation round for bronze medal. Momo, Rangers, left and right respectively. Down they come. The lines were not even upon impact. What does this do? Momo's lost 2. Rangers holding 1. Watch top side. No, safe. Rangers, the hosts, will come away with the
Yep,
bronze.
they take the bronze.
former gold medalists some 6 years ago get another medal in front of the home crowd. Dan Fry, shout out to one of our sponsors for the Gliding Glaciers. Thank you for keeping the Marble League going. All right, the final.
All right, it's all down to
Cobalts
this.
And
Cobalts and the
Balls
Balls of Chaos.
Down they come. Balls of Chaos. Shoot to the sides. 3 of them.
Oh
over,
my
all 5 of them
gosh.
off.
Just
The
like that. That was
Cobalts
over so
win
quick.
their first ever gold medal.
Is that really their first? Like, I know they won their first medal, like, in event 9. Like, their first medal in, like,
victory
9
in
years.
Collision.
But, wow, they never won a gold? It really is Cobalt Redemption year. I've been saying it since the beginning. Cobalt Redemption year.
Marcus
And
Brewer,
yeah,
our patron,
we truly
shout out
are
on
in
the big
it.
Screen before that gives way to our podium logos. Cobalts, Balls of Chaos, and the O-Rangers. Unbelievable. The whole team standing up there on the podium.
Yeah, so the event,
This is the last
Collision
team
always
event, by the
starts
way,
slow,
of this year's
but those
Marble
final
League.
few matches were
And as a
great.
result, the Cobalts win
Yeah,
the
it all
Best
came together in the
Captain
end there.
Award. That goes
Even
out
if that
to the
final match
highest
was over in, like, a
total
blink.
points among the team events. What a way to double
All right,
up.
let's
They
see.
win
Who's
that
mathematically
award and the
eliminated?
team's first
Hopefully
ever
not
gold
us,
medal.
but fuck, we'll see.
Balls of Chaos get the silver, and O-Rangers
It goes quick. It
the
goes,
bronze.
like, it'll be like 1 or 2 this time, and then next week it'll be like 10. Or it'll be, you know, everybody but like the top 5. It always goes
What
quick.
a year for the Cobalts it has been getting in to the Marble League. Yes, Azure did not perform terribly
Okay, so
well,
just the
0
Balls of
points
Chaos
in
and the
2
Limers
individual events. But as a
can't
team,
win, but they can
now
still
move
podium.
atop the standings over the
We actually
Oceanics,
gained a
Pinkies,
point
and
from that.
O-Rangers
Wow.
Also in the hunt.
That's
Balls
good.
Of Chaos and Limers cannot win, but they can still.
All right, so let's look at these real quick. Cobalts finally took over the Oceanics. Because, you know, the Oceanics, look how many medals it took the Cobalts just to overtake the Oceanics. 2 golds and 1 silver. And they needed a gold, 4 silvers, and a bronze. Just to show you how powerful golds are. And I know they've been doing great in a bunch of other things. But yeah. Pinkies being at 3 doesn't surprise me, actually. Again, Host Curse died years ago. So that's you know, that doesn't surprise me. Bumblebees are looking solid. Blackjacks are higher than I expected. Mellow Yellows higher than I expected. Midnight Wisps have been doing pretty good. I forgot they each won 2 golds. Wow. Yeah. Midnight Wisps are, they've been having pretty solid year. Green Ducks have their singular bronze. We're at a gold and 2 bronze. Yeah, Savage Speeders being down here. Again, Savage Speeders and Raspberry Racers, 2 of the best teams. And this just hasn't been their year. I mean, they've gotten 2 golds, 2 silvers, and a bronze. But still, it just has not been their year. Momo, again, going from last year, they did so well. And now here they are near the bottom. Snowballs, this doesn't surprise me. Neither do these 2. Balls of Chaos and Limers being unable to win. That doesn't surprise me at all. Alright, let's do Elimination Race, Event 15. I think this is where we won our gold last year.
Time in
I want to say
history.
we ran on an elimination race.
Taking us ever closer to crowning a champion.
At the very
The
end, it
next
was
round
us
after
and
this one, if you
I
can
want to say Balls of
believe it.
Chaos at the very end.
I'm
We got
Greg
silver
Woods.
and
We're on
bronze,
a
or silver and
4-year
or gold and
stretch
silver.
of keeping this in the Marble League. Not had a repeat winner during that time either.
And that's actually kind of wild.
Don't be last. Keep on rolling down the course. You don't have to win every time, but each successive round that marbles are eliminated, it makes this competition just like the ranchers that live in this area out in the fields because it raises the stakes. Down this course, you will see a lot of trickeration, some obstacles, things that will spring out at you. Or
It seems like a
knock you
very standard
sideways.
course. Nothing too outstanding. I didn't really see any spinning turbines or anything.
As we get a demo run here with our 4 teams who all used to compete in various marble competition regionally. And they're happy to show off what they can do on this deceptively short course.
Yeah, I was gonna say that this course does feel very quick. There's a few choke points in there. I also saw one of them go up the ramp here, so that's
eliminated. But now we go into the full lineup. There's
all right. Just don't come in last.
Down they come.
That's all we got to do is not come in last.
So much at the front of the course where the Savage Speeders
we're near the end.
Don't get caught up in those ramps for the giant ball bearings. Here we go. Chaos down at the bottom.
Yeah, we were 11th.
Come across the line. It's a photo finish.
Oh,
with
shit.
The Raspberry Racers.
Oh, wow. That's...
Watch here. Oh, the Ducks did exactly what I said you don't want to do, and that's get caught up. Oh, I think the Racers might have done it. They did.
Oh, that's not good for the green. That takes the Green Ducks out right there. They can no longer do anything.
Of the Green
wow. It's been a bad year for the Green Ducks. They just haven't had it. They got their 1 medal, so at least they don't walk away medalless, which I think they actually have done in the previous year.
Rolling on down
but
here.
Still.
Climbers get the win. Rangers.
I very much believe Elimination Race is all about conserving your strength. You know, you don't need to come in first. First is overrated. Or like we just did third. Overrated. Come in, you know, 10th. 10th is a good, solid place for the first few races. And then save your speed. Save it for the end. Because that's where it really matters. But I know that can be high risk.
Won this event when it was in the Hawlucha tournament back in 2018, so there's a lot of experience.
Because yeah, we just took third twice in a row, and I'm concerned that we're spending too much energy, and we're gonna run ourselves down early on.
See them on the bottom of the course now. They move over to the far side. Was that Cobalts that got launched upward? What happened here? Oh, they're stuck.
Wow.
The Blackjacks. We're actually nudged up on
That's good for us.
The wall of the course.
I think we needed that.
And they were out.
Honestly, we needed the Green Ducks to go as well. They were right with us, and we needed them out.
Rolling on through here, it's the Snowballs, and once again, the Raspberry Racers down there battling. Those quivering ball bearings can throw them backwards.
I was worried there for a second.
Flash.
Because we started off in the back, gained a little speed, and then just fell back behind.
From the Snowballs backwards, still managed to get in front of Raspberry Racers until that bit of honeycomb.
Because yeah, some of these things hit you back far.
Down we come once again. And the farther into this you go, you have to start thinking
we're somewhere in the middle.
Do you have the physicality to make it through all of the obstacles?
We've fallen back a little bit.
Keep up your speed and your mental fortitude.
Okay, but we got 9th.
As the Oceanics will be last here.
Another thing we needed. A lot of teams needed that.
And where were they when all this happened? Another hard collision. With those large
again, the Oceanics started off so strong this year. And after like the halfway point, I feel like they've just fallen apart. Whereas all that strength was gained by the Cobalts, who, again, 6 medals. Holy shit. Okay, we're not doing great. We're ahead of the Raspberry Racers.
Back then, we got the win over the Blackjacks and Minty Maniacs. On the run down here, Raspberry Racers' luck finally.
God, these would stress me out so much.
They had been in that dangerous position multiple times throughout these first 5 races, and here in round 6,
I don't remember who we're running. We've been running Starry a lot this year. I don't think it's Starry. Probably not Quasar.
So Oceanic, second place team in the standings. They are out. The leaders, the Cobalts.
Okay, we're doing good.
Now. Pinkies.
Yeah, okay. We got lucky there. We took a good straight path there near the end. And the Cobalts are out. Wow.
They get eliminated.
Yeah, right there. We just straight pathed it to the end. Whereas everyone else kind of got stuck up on things.
In this case, it's the championship leaders. Mellow Yellow Feel like they're trending pretty well here. We drop through again.
All right, we're up front. We're like second behind Mellow Yellow. And I think that gets us, second.
First viewer across. Mellow Yellow gets another win. Rangers got.
Again, I don't think this is a good thing. You want to stay back. You want to conserve your. I mean, I guess you can start spinning a little bit more now, but I'm talking like fifth, not second, twice in a row. Like Mellow Yellow's making the same mistake.
Otherwise, they were neck and neck.
Wow, yeah, that's gonna.
Bottom half of the order. They are done.
Those are some high-placing teams and some low-placing teams in there. Good mix, but the Oceanics and the Cobalts, that's gonna.
If you're a fan of obstacles and
do
pitfalls and all kinds of different traps and contraptions, check out the Skyway Chase set because it is full of them, and you can run your favorite marble teams through that tortuous course.
There you go. Buy some marbles.
See who wins.
There's another picture that I wanted to get a better picture of.
Especially if your team is rocking and rolling right now. You're riding the high. You're feeling good. Well, Oceanics, maybe not. They are eliminated, but let's see if we can get some anyway. Anybody takers? Anybody? No takers? Oh, there we go. All right.
You know that
feel good, fans.
It's funny because, like, when the league started and they did their, this was like the same week as the Coldplay Kiss Cam thing, and you know they filmed this stuff in advance.
Got this elimination race.
It's just luck of the draw that they got that.
And 8 marbles that remain still in the hunt, several of whom are hoping to work their way up the standings. And the run for the championship.
Okay, we're once again right behind Mellow Yellow. Or that is that the Limers actually?
If you can believe that. And in this case, it's close between
there goes
the
the
Rangers
Pinkies.
and the Pinkies. But the Pinkies, after a hard hit from one of those gold ball bearings, they are done. Pinky Panther. Same marble that got the bronze back in 2022 in this event is out and not on the podium.
Okay, we're a little farther back. We're in the back right now. That's not good.
This might be a photo finish again.
Oh, shit.
Limers, Galactic, they're all in there.
Fuck.
Galactic.
It was so close right there.
Gets the short straw.
And yeah,
they
we got some bad hits. Right there, that was bad. Right there, that's another bad hit. And yeah, no, okay, it wasn't as close as and hey, they were running that strong. Okay, I thought so.
A lot more space that you see up on that starting
It's
gate.
really, like,
It
the
allows these
Limers
marbles
don't
to
matter.
use their lines.
Balls of
The
Chaos
Rangers
also
in last
really don't
right now.
matter.
Yellow's
The
close.
O'Rangers
Get around these final ones.
really
No, the
needed this,
Rangers are
and they're
done.
gone.
The hosts
Never mind everything I was saying. I guess, you know, if the Limers win, if Balls of Chaos win, that okay, wow, they're in the 2 last place. Sure, they can still podium, but that's gonna mean a lot less to us.
Event where they got a bronze medal. It's their second bronze of these games. They also have a silver to go
We're in
along
trouble.
with it. They won't add to that medal
there's no. I bet we're eliminated to win right here. I don't think we're out.
On the course.
Like, the Green Ducks are definitely out. Like, we're right there, though. We might still be able to do it.
Try to sneak by them, and they can't do it.
Nope, there's the Limers.
Limers were ahead right here. They got caught right on that point of the triangle, and the door was open once again.
Oh, so part of the reason we started so late tonight, I made rice pudding. Yeah, I didn't mention this earlier.
Lemon lime.
I made rice pudding, and it took like an hour. It took a lot longer than I remember it taking. It's decent. It's decent. It's a little dry, but other than that, it's pretty decent.
Mellow Yellow off the back. Mellow Yellow are gonna have some ground to make up. And
yeah, that's why I started so late tonight.
It's not gonna happen. Mellow Yellow eliminated. Bronze medalists in 2023. They go no further and miss the medals.
And God, it all ends on Sand Rally, which, oof. I mean, I think we did good on Sand Rally in the qualifiers, but still. And we also have the showdown as well.
In this one, will earn the bronze. Momo takes the low line. Midnight Wisp at the top. They both squeeze out Balls of Chaos. Balls of Chaos.
I mean, in theory, we want balls of... Oh, they got stuck. Wow. I was going to say, in theory, we want Team Momo to go out right here.
Fan, that may come as no surprise
or maybe the Midnight Wisp. Honestly, we wanted either one of them to go out.
All the time. And Disarray gets a bronze medal while sitting in the chute of one of the ball bearings in sight of the finish line. Unbelievable. It's Momo and
Midnight here it is.
Going head-to-head now for the gold medal. Momo with the lead. Past the next pinch point.
Good lead.
They follow them on the top
All
side.
it takes, though, is one bad hit. And yeah, honestly, that was so close. I don't feel like anybody took like a really bad hit, or any hit that was taken was pretty equal. Yeah, that was so close.
They're going the same direction here.
Because, yeah, every hit they took, somebody else took. But them getting that, top side, totally won it for them.
As their captain will finish one length back of Yvain, the reserve, and now gold medalist.
Oh, a fight.
Emotions flaring, balls of chaos. They started to work their way over to the Limers, the two eliminated teams coming into this event who could not win.
They were mad.
And balls of chaos, maybe they were, I don't want to speculate, but thankfully security right there to break things up before.
Okay, I think we're not able to win, but I hope we're still in it. I hope, because if we can, I don't think we're going to get a gold on this last one. If I had to guess, I think the Cobalts are solid. They didn't do amazing this event, but I think the Cobalts are still good. I legitimately don't know if they could lose. Like if they, okay, they probably could. I mean, that happened to the Green Ducks a few years ago, where even though they were in like third place most of the league, and then at the like last event, second to last event, they just completely blew it and came in fourth.
And Team Galactic all the way down in 10th. So the leaders of the championship did not fare very well in this one. What does it do to the standings? Oh, look at this. How many are eliminated?
Okay,
11th
we're
down,
just barely still in it.
Cannot win. So 6 teams are...
Oh my... Savage Speeders out. Raspberry Racers out. Wow. Green Ducks, yeah. With how they've been performing this year, that doesn't surprise me. But yeah, no, we're barely able to still podium. We needed that play. Ugh. And then, yeah, it's really the Cobalts and the Oceanics are so close. I mean, that's what, 11 points away for the Midnight Wisps. The O'Rangers could still take it in their host year. Wow. And the Pinkies and Mellow Yellow are also kind of there. Honestly, a gold completely could shift anyone. It's really whoever gets this gold takes it. At least they get, as long as gold goes to someone in this bracket, they get high up. And then if gold, anyone in here, they win it. That's how close everything is. Alright, I guess let's go to the final event. And then, of course, we do have the showdown, which we're still rooting for the, still rooting for Team Plasma. They've been very hit and miss on this, but we'll see.
For the first time in these games, we leave the folksy comfort of the Mandarin.
Yeah, usually they end off with like an elimination race or something. For a very good
reason, though. This is the Sand Rally, and it will crown 2 champions today. Hey, everybody. I'm Greg Woods. The showdown gets us started. The final round for them.
I didn't mind the showdown being mixed in with the regular show. Because normally the showdown is usually just like 2 special episodes.
6 teams.
But yeah, I feel like mixing it in with the actual events streamlined things a little bit. You know, it made some episodes a little longer, but I don't... That's a fine.
This is a 1-round event, a dash to the finish. And here are the teams that will be vying for the championship of the showdown. Purple Rockets down there in the bottom.
Oh, I didn't even notice
those teams in red. They hope to
okay, so
it.
Guaranteed relegation.
Here are
That
the
I didn't even
representatives.
notice that last time.
Several reserves.
Wow.
Captains. Shout out to the Turtle Sliders.
So they are
Theo
bringing,
Workman.
because I know they didn't do
Look at that
relegation
moisture
either this
up
year or
on the
last
starting
year.
gate. What kind of
And that
sand
was
conditions
very
will they see as they
controversial.
dive down for the first time? I'm sure the
Because that
Marvel
saved
teams will be
multiple. I
watching
want to
this
say that
very
saved the
closely
the
and
Kobolds.
sliding into the front.
Because they
It
didn't
is
get
the
automatically
Shining
relegated.
Swarm, one of our championship contenders. Gliding Glaciers, they come next.
Come on,
They are
Plasma,
out of
you're
it. They are
catch up.
10th.
You're in
They
13th.
cannot win. Crazy Cat's Eye, same thing with them. Chocolatiers in 4th, the Hazers in 5th. That is exactly where they are in the overall standings. Still in with an outside shot to win it all, but they have to work their way up the order relatively quickly. Team Primary in 6th. Purple Rockets,
They're
move
just
up into
staying
6th.
in 13th.
They are also out of it, as we said, guaranteed relegation, but they desperately want to finish on as high a note as they can and salvage a little bit of their integrity. Shining Swarm.
I wouldn't keep my
One
hopes up.
silver medal. Appropriate color for them is all they've received in these showdown events, but it's enough to put them in 4th. And right now, with a fairly commanding lead, no, they've been passed.
Come
by
on,
the
you're
Gliding
slowly
Glaciers.
gaining up there.
Glaciers are up in front, and here come the Shining
believe in
Swarm
you,
again.
Plasma.
The outside of the turn, they take the lead. Hazers,
At least for the
up
purposes of the
into
showdown.
3rd. Remember, they're in 5th in the standings. They need to get ahead here of the Shining Swarm. Shining Swarm in 4th. So if they finish ahead, they've got a really good chance to win it all. They're only 12 points, by the way, behind our championship leaders, the Turtle Sliders, who are down in 15th right now, only ahead of the Rojo Rollers.
That's
I saw
not
them going
good.
very slowly earlier, but I think they have kept going. We've not received any DNF notices thus far.
See, this is the performance
Shining
I expect
Swarm
from the
build their
Turtle
lead in a very
Sliders.
slow portion
The fact that
of the
they've
course.
done
Perhaps
so well in the
sand
showdown this
wetter
year
through
is
there,
wild.
but their lead isn't unassailable. Still a
I
long
guess
way to go
I guess
here.
it just goes to show
Especially at this speed.
any
Gliding
team can
Glaciers
have
in
a
second.
year.
Hazers up into 3rd.
I mean, sure, they're
Chocolatiers,
the
they
best
are in
of
4th.
the showdown
Solar Flares,
teams,
also
which
not
is,
one
you
of the
know,
championship
your
contenders
chocolate-covered
are up there.
metal.
Moving around.
But still,
Middle of the order. That doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I
at
guess
this
that shows
point. The finish
anybody
line
can
really in
do
sight. There it
anything.
is. The Shining Swarm come across the
yep,
line.
there you go.
And they will win the showdown. Look at the margin.
And the Hazers,
After
they
those
I know
top
I know the
three
Hazers
came
needed
through.
that.
Gliding Glaciers get the silver, and the Hazers
Got
get
third.
the bronze.
We started in 13th,
But with all of
we
the
worked
other
our way up to
championship
10th,
contenders nowhere
and
to
then
be
just
seen,
fell back down to 13th.
The Shining
Wow.
Swarm have done it. Their first gold of the showdown.
I don't think
And
we're
it brings in the
auto relegated though.
championship.
I think we're still fine, hopefully, because we won like 2 of these, or we got met like 2 of the
Shout out to the Minty Maniacs,
you know, top
Jake
places.
Cerna.
So I
As we
I
take
think
a look
we're
at the
fine.
winning margin, 1.3 seconds. Chocolatiers in 4th, just missing out on the podium. As we go back inside the Mandarin onto Main Street.
And there's your showdown
Shining
medal,
Swarm.
your
Swarm the trophy.
participation award.
And their smiles are shining throughout. Everybody
It's harsh.
can see them because they stand atop the showdown and
Yeah.
try to carry this momentum.
Again,
into next
Turtle
year's
Sliders,
Marvel
that still
League.
surprises me. Alright, let's see how these showdown standings are.
There are the final standings. Turtle Sliders finish in 2nd.
Rella.
Indigo Star.
Okay. Rojo Rollers have had it too good for too long. They kept making it into the league, and they were the weakest team every year. But they kept making it in, auto-relegated. Purple Rockets have done nothing to impress me these past... They've had their moments, but nothing really that good. Primary... I mean, come on. I know they made some changes this year. Didn't help them at all. At least I think they did. And then Minty Maniacs. Everybody's so sick of their shit. I get it. I get why it happened last year. I understand the whole co-hosting thing. They were sponsoring. But I was so done with them by the end of the league. And we got 4th right there. Still, you know, solid performance. It's the showdown. It doesn't actually mean anything. But yeah. Hazers, you know, good for the Hazers. They, after, you know, all their terrible years, Crazy Cat's Eyes getting right smack dab in the middle. They're also another team that's fallen from grace. Wolfpack and Solar Flares, still, I mean, Solar Flares had their moments last year, but And then none of these surprised me at all. But yeah, and then Indigo Stars, I still don't think you're a good team. Same thing with you, the Turtle Sliders. I still don't really think you're that good of a team, even if you did okay. Because, again, you got your participation awards. And then Shining Swarm, yeah, I mean, they're whatever.
In third, Team Plasma.
I mean, I guess I'll put it like this. It keeps the Turtle Sliders in the Indigo Stars from being retired next year. Because you know everybody wants the Golden Orbs to come back. Quote unquote, everybody.
You can play with them
and so this keeps those two from being destroyed.
Chase set. Check it out on our store. Hey.
Oh, hey, look at us.
Championship vibes
dancing around.
Through you. Time for the dance cam throughout the stadium.
See, I wonder how do they do that? I know it's stop motion.
I'm rocking away here.
But like, if they make it look so smooth, how would I?
And a quick peek back to the Shining Swarm, who are still absolutely chuffed to be in this position. Several times they've been in the showdown.
Here we go. It all comes down to this.
And now they've won it. That moisture still remains.
I bet I can find out how they on the Patreon. I bet that has all the information.
For the final event of the 2025 Marble League to determine
all right, let's lock in,
champion.
Getting in gamer position.
That are still in it from 6th on up.
Believe
Mellow Yellow, Pinkies, O'Rangers, Midnight Wisps,
I believe we could take, if we do well, we can take a podium. We're sitting.
Got by the Blackjacks to take the lead. There's Momo drafting on by. This was a very
sitting right there, right smack dab in the middle.
Didn't have time
Come on, we got plenty of room to make up some space.
You also see in the scoring pylon there the updated standings for who is where. Gold, silver, and bronze. That's for the overall standings. Team Momo in front, but look at the Cobalts right by, and they do not want to wait. They don't want to finish second here.
So, yeah, wow, they're really updating it in real time. That's kind of cool. I don't think they've ever done... I also don't know if they've ever done the tracker of distance before. That's also a good get. I'm glad they're doing that. It's Cobalt Redemption year, man.
And now it changes. Mellow Yellow, they take bronze as they go into second place.
But we need this more. We got, come on. Come on, right there in 6th. We can make up some of that. We need to get a medal here. If we're gonna, if we have any chance, we need a medal.
Silver. But how about the Cobalts at the halfway point of this course? They were in the 2016
Marble League. We're in 6th.
When everybody was invited.
Come on, you got the Oceania. Nah, we're just trading places with the Blackjacks right now. I'm literally not even paying attention to the actual racers. I'm focusing on the bar.
They have studied it. They have dreamed of this.
I'll be honest, I can barely see the Cobalt out front.
A team with humble beginnings that started with 4 friends at a university studying chemistry. They have joined together, qualified this year, much like Blue Moon did.
That's
after
crazy
a long
for the
of
Cobalts.
Not qualifying, they've got a chance to win it.
Oh yeah, there we go, 5th.
Trying to fend off Team
Come on.
Momo. That is worth a bronze medal
keep
to
rising.
them.
I believe.
Look at the lead for the Cobalts,
I believe.
however.
I don't want to let I'm not going to let my
They can
memes
feel
be
it
dreams.
now.
Come on, we can take 3rd.
1 turn to go.
It's all coming down to this, and
once in a blue moon that you
holy
see
shit, the
a
Cobalts.
like that. From
And we got
perennial
4th.
relegation to Marble
Wow.
League champions. The Cobalts have done it.
I've been speaking it all year. This was Cobalt Redemption year. And they fucking came and they served. They started off weak. It started off bad.
At the beginning, here
but
are
man,
some of the moves
once
that the
they
Cobalts
came
made.
together, they really came
Not
together.
wanting to settle for a
2
points
golds,
game where they can
what,
win it
4
even if they finish in
silvers
this position or this
into
position, depending on what
bronze.
the other teams do. No,
And I might be forgetting
we
one.
want to win this outright.
That's crazy for the
coach,
Cobalts.
Their manager, they all said
that is so impressive. Going from a team that hasn't done anything in 9 years
They want to go celebrate with
to,
their team.
taking all this.
They win gold.
This truly was Cobalt Redemption year.
They win a championship.
And hey, that's I think that puts
Yellow
Momo pretty
gets the
high.
silver.
Which,
Team Momo gets the
I mean,
bronze.
yeah,
It's
sure, it's on a
Nemo,
win this year.
Yellow, and
But going
Mo
from winning last
that
year to now
represent
doing pretty
their
well this year.
teams.
And then I hope that gets us in, like, top 8. You know, I'd love to be... I wish we could have taken a medal. A medal, even though just a bronze, would have been huge for us at the end here. But I'd still think, you know, 1 gold, 2 bronze, and then we got 4th place a bunch. We had a... Compared to last year,
and a championship,
things picked up a lot more this year. You know, last year was just such a shit show.
We're not seeing it right now,
and this year, I think it all worked out. Yeah, everyone, Starry, Astron, Quasar, Pulsar, and...
After 10 years with the Cobalts, what a way to end it. Time now for the closing ceremony. Thank you all so much.
I know
for
our
watching
coach is
Miguel's Marble
Celeste.
Runs. I'm Greg Woods. So long, everyone.
Starry, Astron, Pulsar, Quasar, and... Fuck. We all did great this year. I can't believe I'm forgetting the last ones. We all did great this year. I'm proud of our team. From our showing last year to coming back and having some good performances, winning a few medals, more than one. I'm getting a 3rd place. Yeah, I know. I'm... Hey, everybody broke 100 as well. Yeah, this was a bad year for the Green Ducks. Bad year for the Raspberry Racers and the Savage Speeders. We made 7th. Oh my gosh. Yes, I will take it. Sure, did we lose to our rivals, the O'Rangers? Yes, that sucks. They were hosts this year. They weren't cursed. Mellow Yellow in 3rd. Wow. Oceanics just dominated so early on that nobody could catch up. Except for the Cobalts. Yeah. 2-4. Wow. What a great... I'm so impressed. It really shows that, you know, the marbles can just believe. They can come together. They can do something great. Really, MVM goes to... Wow, that's surprising. But no, truly, you know, don't give up on your dreams. Always push forwards. Nothing is out of reach. Even if you can't do it today or can't do it tomorrow. Never give up. That is the Cobalt story. Never give up. And truly, it's beautiful. Yeah, no, I think this was a great year. I really do. Sure, everything didn't work out for me. If you're one of the Cobalt fans, oh, you're riding so high. And you know what? I'm happy for you. I think, you know, going from last year would have been nice to beat our rivals, the O'Rangers. You know, our Minnesota Vikings to their Green Bay Packers, where they don't give a shit about us because their real rival is the Savage Speeders. Sure. But, you know, we beat the Savage Speeder, so I'll take that. We beat the Raspberry Racers, I'll take that. Yeah, no, I think it was a great... For the 10-year of the Marble League, I do think this was a really good 10-year anniversary. I was forgetting our captain, Cosmo. That's who... Starry, Astron, Pulsar, and Quasar. And I was forgetting Cosmo, our captain. I can't believe I was forgetting... I don't know, for some reason... In my head, Starry is the marble. Starry's our star. You know, she's great. And I guess that's why I was forgetting... Because I don't know how many... I mean, outside of team events, I don't even know if Cosmo ran an individual this year. At least I can't remember. Alright, top 3 auto qualify. Yeah, we have a few 12s in there and a few 11s. I'd say overall, we started strong. We got a good medal. We got a gold in event 9. And then, you know, we had some weaker points. But I think overall it worked out fine. It worked out fine for us. Wait. I think we tied with Momo, but we beat them out with, well, they beat us on medals, but we beat them out because we have a gold. I think that's it. I legitimately think that's it. And then the O'Rangers were, 6 points ahead, 2 ahead of them, 1. And then, wow. Wow. All right, let's see who's hosting next year. Again, I could be the Savage Speeders, but I don't know. The hosts for 2026. Pinky, you know what? Sure. The Pinkies had their own redemption stories a few years ago. Baker Bowl? Wait. The Baker Bowl. Huh. Pinkies will host a special 10th anniversary. So, even though this was the 10 years of the Marble League, they're doing a special 10 anniversary thing as well. Because I'm still kind of surprised they did All-Stars last year. I mean, I get it, but to be fair, that might have been like early January. But still, okay, that's interesting. Okay, I think the Pinkies are good hosts. Did they do okay this year, actually? Yeah, they came in 5th. I think that's a decent, because the host's never going to be one of the winners. We always, you just don't host if you're in the top 3. I don't think that's ever happened before. Midnight Wisps, I don't know if they've ever hosted. And then, everyone under, O'Rangers hosted this year. We hosted 2020. Momo, I don't think ever has. Bumblebees have. Yeah. No, okay, I think the Pinkies are a good host there. A good, solid host. And that'll be interesting. But yeah. And F1, so it's coming up. And so I guess that takes us to the end. It was a great league. What can I say? I had a good time anyways. And while I know that's not all that matters, I still think that's important. There we go. So I guess, where do we go from here? I don't know. I mean, I guess that just means, streams are going to be shorter starting here. I've been thinking about it. One of the things I've been thinking about, I guess that takes us to our outro, is I kind of want to, I watch a lot of YouTube. Some of it's in the background. Some of it I actually watch. Now that we're done with the Marble League, I got 7th. I got 7th in the overall league. And the Cobalts truly fulfilled their redemption year. And we're going to end off here in a minute. But I've been starting to, we watch the Marble League. I don't want to become one of those reaction YouTubers. I'm sure that's, I know that's one of those things that seems easy, but is actually harder than you make it look. Unless, you're hot, in which case you can just do whatever you want. But I don't want to become one of those, reaction, who just watches other people's videos on stream. But I kind of do, I watch a fair chunk of YouTube and whatnot. I kind of want to start, recommending videos. Make it a separate... I mean, I could legitimately do highlights from the entire league this year. See the evolution of me being here, to me getting a shirt, to me becoming a marble. Oh god, and I could do an Animorph style thumbnail. That would actually be very funny. Only for the thumbnail. I'd only make that... God, I'm not talented enough to do that thumbnail. I'm not a talented enough artist to do that, but that's funny in my head. Oh, I listen to a ton of stuff. Yeah. No, I listen to a ton of stuff. But yeah, no, I was thinking I might start doing a segment at the end of the show each week where I recommend something. I've been thinking about it ever since we did that. We talked about Skitty Bitty a few weeks ago. I was thinking yeah, let's do something different. I would definitely say it's more rebranded. In the backlogs of my files, I still consider this season 6. If I don't really show my notes that often. But if you guys, in my notes here, you'll see it's labeled as Season 6, Episode 35. You know, I still keep track of these things. So yeah, as far as I'm concerned, it's just a rebrand. At least all for behind-the-scenes purposes. But yeah, I think that's something I'm going to start doing. Is we're going to start... I just, just recommend something I've watched in the past week. Sure, will Multiplayer Monday come up every week? Or, as this case was, Multiplayer Wednesday this week because of Cosmo? Maybe. But hopefully I'll find other shit. Because I watch so much shit, man. Or I have so much stuff on in the background. But that's just something I'm thinking about. Just, we're not watching it on stream, but I still want to make the recommendation. It's something I've been thinking about for a while. And now that the Marble League's over, maybe we'll do that. But yeah, that's where we're going to end off for tonight. It is 2 a.m. I've got to go to bed, man. I did not realize we were up this late. Holy shit. I've got Kirby to do tomorrow. Fuck. No, I'm not streaming Kirby. It's definitely something I'm thinking about, going back to our save file from when we Let's Played it back in, 2021, and just doing the DLC on that, but... maybe later in the year. I'll think about it. But no, that's we'll be back next week for In Chat. I haven't had a movie in forever. I don't know, man. I've seen it. I don't know. If we're thinking about the same anime, I don't know. 3 a.m. for you, 2 a.m. for me. Time zones, man. Still very late. We should go to bed. Yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, I haven't seen a movie in weeks. Freaky Friday existed. I know something came out this week, but I don't know. We'll be back. There's always a new story. Not the very tip of Texas on the Mexico-New Mexico border is Mountain Time. Yep. Yeah, no, kind of like how Arizona, Arizona is Mountain Time that doesn't observe Daylight Savings Time, but the Navajo Nation does observe Daylight Savings Time, so you can be in Arizona and be on a different time zone if you're in the Navajo Reservation, and then if you cross into the Hopi Reservation, you go back off Daylight Savings Time. Yeah, literally, there's a certain stretch in Arizona where you go through 4 different time zones in 100 miles or something like that. It's wild. You can look it up. It's a real thing. I don't know. I fucking hate Daylight Savings Time, but that's rants for another day. Time zones I understand a little bit, but they're also kind of messy. Yeah, part of Texas being in Mountain Time is kind of weird, but whatever. At least I'm not on Goof World Time. What is that a reference? That's a reference to something. Goof World Time. Fuck if I remember. I don't know. I hope you all enjoyed. Stay tuned for more. Till next time. Peace.